chin, check the number, I'll leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio, I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm back. Thank you, Sean.
Welcome back.
And Roy for holding down the fort while I was out of town last couple days here.
Sure.
We had to go to El Paso for my wife. She had to go see the neurosurgeon and get the stitches removed and all that.
So how'd that go?
Stitches are gone. Things are looking good in the head department. So we over the here in about the first week of September, we got to go get a CT scan here in town, and then around the 16th, I got to go back up there and bring the CT scan with us, and then they'll do a compare and contrast and determine when she can go back to work and school and, start doing life as a, normal person again kind of thing. So that's where we're at. But she also will go and see another doctor while we're there. We're trying to kill two birds. Right. I tried to do that this time, but didn't work out. So we'll do it here when I got to go back in September for another day. But I'm hoping.
Real quick, I just want you to pause for a second.
Pause, yes.
Now listen. Did you hear that?
I hear music.
That was the collective sigh of the entire listening audience of 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. They're like, oh my God, he's back.
Oh, y'all do a great job.
God. Everybody, we can tune in again.
Y'all do a great job of filling it. I appreciate it, y'all. I catch bits and pieces here and there. When I'm, like yesterday, I got to hear more because I was driving right around the time y'all were, so I just put the app on. And
you missed our whole breakdown and dissertation of Colin Hayes' great 1980s/90s hit, Overkill.
Now, that part I missed. That part I did miss. I didn't catch that one. I may have been, I don't know what was going on, but I did hear the whole thing about Nickelback and there was another discussion. I can't remember what it was, but I remember catching on. And yeah, because I remember talking to the radio on the one. I was like, look, I'm no Nickelback fan either, but Pearl Jam's got way more street cred than Nickelback.
Yeah, I agree. Pearl Jam is terrible, and this is basically.
I'm not saying they're a great band.
This is what I said yesterday. Pearl Jam is terrible, but you can't sit here and say that they're better than Nickelback.
Yeah,
or not
worse.
Not better than Nickelback.
Yeah, Eddie Vedder's a weirdo, but he is widely accepted as a musical.
He's a weirdo of a certain time.
Yeah. Well,
whereas Chad Kroeger is kind of just like I don't know.
Like, okay, here's the difference. Like, Chad Kroeger, I think, literally learned his craft just so he can pick up women in a bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Eddie Vedder's too weird.
He's way too weird to pick up a woman in a bar.
In his but in his head, it's like he's got to get it out. Like, right. I think, like, in him, it's like his therapy, his like he needs to do this. Otherwise, he's in a padded room,
sure.
Singing about, weirdness.
And that's the thing. And some people are incredibly passionate about Pearl Jam. I understand that.
Because when Eddie Vedder goes up there and sings and he's looking at everywhere but the crowd and doing all that weirdness, I'm like, that man needs some psychotherapy.
Right.
He's just not right. Where Chad Kroeger, you're like, dude.
That being said, I've said the same thing about the way John Mayer sings. It's like, that boy ain't right. Why do you make those faces?
But like, I remember watching like Eddie Vedder, and I'm like, is that man in a trance? Where's his eye pupils? They're like rolled up in his head. I just see his whites while he's Jeremy spoken. I'm like, what is going on here? but as far as talent levels, like I think Pearl Jam's a more talented band than
Oh yeah,
Nickelback
and
ever was.
my opinion should be should be taken as just my opinion. But,
And I don't even remember who said it. I couldn't tell if it was you or
Roy.
Roy.
Roy was adamantly pro Nickelback, and I'm sure once he gets here, he'll let you know about it.
I'm not pro Nickelback,
I'm not pro Nickelback by
but
any
I'm
stretch.
not anti Nickelback either, in the respect that I just don't care about Nickelback.
Right.
Like if their song's on, I'm not offended or like, oh my God, these guys are awful. I'm just like, good on them. They made a bunch of money doing the same song 17 different times.
You're not wrong.
I mean, someone's going to get mad at me.
That's basically
They're a trash version of AC/DC.
I like how you paused before you paused to give that statement the reverence that it deserved.
Because think about it. Think about it.
Now
I know I'm getting into people's territory of reverendom, but AC/DC's played basically the same song for 50 years.
that's okay. Here's the thing. If you look at now here's where I'm gonna kind of break your heart a little bit. If you look at any band, they do the same 4 songs. Pretty much every band that you've ever been into does the same 4 songs. They've just figured out a way to do those 4 songs really, 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 really well.
Yeah.
To a point where you are a fan.
I get
Same
it.
thing with Metallica, I would argue.
I to a point, yes.
Yeah, to a point.
To a point.
Because what Metallica does well that most don't is they play well with time signatures.
Yeah. I all bands have a signature sound. And that I can't deny. But even like certain bands, like you can hear 2 songs and you're like, wow, that sounds like a different band. And Metallica and certain other bands do have that. I mean, yes, most of their songs sound the same, but there's always that 1 or 2 and you're like, wow, I would have never guessed that was. And Metallica has that.
Sure.
And so does
I would give you
many
that.
other bands that have been around as long as bands like Metallica. Where Nickelback, they literally
don't
grab
okay,
any
now-
one of those albums.
Now look.
And they're exactly the same.
I am in no way implying that Nickelback and Metallica deserve to play on the same continent, okay?
Right.
I'm not implying that at all. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that in general, bands tend to have a specific 3 to 5 song set that they just do really well. Like Blink-182, one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
They have the exact same song like 6 different times.
They do.
It's
Yeah.
literally, it's the exact, if you go back and look at like 5 of their 6 big hits, it was the same like time signature format song.
Yeah.
With different words.
And I would even argue they have the same sounds if they're a multi-generational band. And what I mean by that is if their music has standed more than 1 decade's worth of song, of music.
Sure.
I would even say their music from 1 decade will sound different, but like all their 80s music sounds like the same, but then their 90s music sounds different. And there are certain bands like Aerosmith, I would say, is a little in that area where their 80s songs are very this way, but their older songs are better and
Def Leppard.
different. Def Leppard.
There I said it.
Yeah, Def Leppard.
There I said it. Shots fired, all
Well,
right?
I'll tell you this. I'm good with anything with Def Leppard after Hysteria. I mean, pre-Hysteria.
I was going to say,
Hysteria and after Hysteria, I'm out.
now Hysteria being the line that you're good with.
Yes.
Okay, so now you say after Hysteria you're out.
I am.
Because some of my favorite stuff from Def Leppard actually came out post. I would argue my favorite Def Leppard, and now again, this is my opinion, should not be taken as any fact. My favorite Def Leppard song is actually from like 2 or 3 albums ago. It's called Love. It's a ballad.
Okay.
And
Say I probably didn't listen to it because after Let's Get Rock came out, I never listened to anything new by Def Leppard ever again.
all right.
Not, and,
Now
and they
I
may have
find that
played one
hard
in
to
a
believe being married to who you're married to.
Well, to be honest, my wife, she's kind of in a time capsule.
Okay.
80s, any song that very few songs that creep past the 90s get into a radar. And if it's a song that does, it's like the hit song that everyone loves, like that Lady Gaga song with, you know what I mean?
But 90s Def Leppard though, I figured you would stick with the band, or she would at least.
But she's you know,
See, this
pour
is
some
new
sugar
knowledge
on
to
me on down, man.
I did not know that.
I don't
did not-
see her jam. I mean, she has the greatest hits album, so
Right.
one of those slip on there. But
so she doesn't have like Moonlight at the Sparkle Lounge.
No. Her jam is, Love Bites, Pour Some Sugar on Me. That whole era of Def Leppard.
Do you remember the day that we got delivered to the radio station to Mix 106 the Yes album or the Yeah album?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and how ecstatic my kid's mom, my wife at the time, was to get that album. So that's how into like current Def Leppard I was forced to be. So I always assumed that when you're a Def Leppard fan, that your husband just is forced to listen to all of it.
Put it this way. I think my wife's 80s rock, when it comes to that, if they played it in a roller rink in 1987, then it's on her playlist.
If it was couples only skate worthy, fair enough.
That's her jam.
Nice.
But then again, she crosses into like country of that same era. So you'll be hearing Def Leppard. Next thing you hear, roll on highway, roll on through. And you're like, all right.
Roll on.
That's her playlist.
That's fun. and I can appreciate that. I absolutely can. Yeah. Something that has a little variety to it. But I don't know. I've been subjected to far more Def Leppard than just 80s stuff.
Yeah, you have.
80s Lep.
Yeah. And in our house, it's the opposite. Like yesterday, like I drove, but usually my wife drives. She controls the radio and everything because my wife she's kind of a control person, so I usually relent and go ahead, do it. But obviously I've been driving, doing things, and she still has wants to take over, and I'm like, settle down. But music, I was like, listen, and she going up there, I'd put on her playlist on my phone, and she's like, what's this music? I was like, that's yours, and I was like, wow. And then finally on the last hour of the trip yesterday, I was like, no, I'm putting in my
stands no more.
So I put in my, and then the one comment that made me laugh is we were about 20 miles from home. She goes, I noticed yours is a lot louder. Like it was barely playing when mine was on. Yours is louder. And I was like, I believe you turned it down yesterday. I didn't touch it. I was
strictly trying to keep my eyes open at this point.
But it was funny. So that's our biggest, because I don't want to listen to doom, 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 doom. Hey, for 3 hours. I don't want to listen to that.
I respect the fact that you get a choice.
Well, if it's in her car, I have zero choice.
Right.
I get a little choice in my car.
That's the key. That's what we never had is individual cars. That was our key. That was our problem.
Yeah. Well, we each got, who's driving,
my
who's in
playlist
charge.
became her playlist. So that's okay though, because I gained a newfound respect for that band. Honestly, before I was married, I did not know anything about Def Leppard. So if nothing else, thanks. Neat.
But I just remember hearing the music stuff, and that's what all started. Thanks for filling in. I do appreciate that.
Yeah,
you guys did a great job. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We get to chit chat this hour.
Oh, good.
So
I was wondering if we had a guest that's trying to keep a headphone off for.
Nobody scheduled this hour.
Gotcha.
In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to talk Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. We're going to have Don Well join us with Friends of Bitter Lake. I believe Steve Alvarez, the park. The park ranger, that's what I like to call him, of the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge there. Steve Alvarez is going to join us here as well. I believe he's going to come with Don. And then, so we'll get an update there, talk Dragonfly Festival and what else they got going on, which it's pretty much Dragonfly Festival.
Oh, darn. So he's not coming by himself?
I mean, maybe.
I was going to say, this is the chance to call him the Lone Ranger.
Oh. No, Don will definitely be with him.
So then it's the Lone Rangers.
That's right.
Airheads, fantastic movie. Go back and watch it.
Gotta find my way out of it. Stutter and John song. By the way, all his songs sound the same. Stutter and John, that one album he had, they're all the same. He had that one, I can't say hit because that's not a true statement. The one that got played on the radio a couple times was that Find My Way Out of It or whatever. I don't even remember how the rest of it goes. I just remember that little hook. And
everybody gets one. Didn't Frank Stallone even have a song for a minute?
Well, and let's face it, no one would care about Stutter and John if it wasn't for Howard Stern and most Frank. Let's face it, Frank is his brother's Sly. Sylvester Stallone. That man, anything he does he's going to draw a following, and Frank got some shine off that because he helped out with some Rocky movies. And the 9 o'clock hour, Krista Noble will join us with the Roswell Humane Society. Give us an update on pets available for adoption, what's going on over at the thrift store, and, of course, how you can help out and be a part of the society. So, plus we'll have your news, features, all of that stuff, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
So I did start the Beavis and Butthead.
The TV series?
I
still have
TV
not
series.
done that yet.
You haven't started the series?
No, I've just seen the movie. I've not seen the TV series.
You've got to.
I want to. I just haven't sat down and done it. Be honest, I'm like behind, and there's other things like Hard Knocks I forgot came on. So I end up at the hotel.
It's only 3 episodes, dude.
I know, but I was in the hotel room, not last night before last, and Kim had gone to sleep, and so I was like, I'm not gonna watch SpectreVision and go through 57 channels to find Everyone Loves Raymond reruns. Right. So I watched. I forgot Hard Knocks. Detroit Lions is on, so I watched the first 3 episodes. I think there's one more left before that wraps up, but I didn't realize the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions coaching staff is like a 1990s Pro Bowl roster.
Really?
It's insane. The head coach is Dan Campbell, which if you're a Cowboys fan, he was a tight end with the Cowboys. He was a tight end with who else did he play for? Like the Saints or something. He played for like 4 or 5 teams. Cowboys being one of them. I think he was like Witten's backup one time in there or something, but he started for some teams. And I think he did for the Cowboys for a little bit after Witten retired or something too. But I'm not up on all my Cowboys fandom. Sorry.
Right.
But Dan Campbell's the head coach.
Okay.
And like his coaching staff is all like players I've heard of from the 90s. Like his wide receivers coach is Antoine Randall L. If you remember him with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Washington.
Right.
He was actually a wide receiver that was a quarterback in college. And he threw a few of those razzle-dazzle plays with Big Ben, or back in the back when they were both relevant. And so he's the wide receivers coach. Who else is there for Detroit? I'm kind of intrigued now. Deuce Staley, the old running back for the Eagles. He's there. He's the running backs coach.
You gotta imagine that happens a lot. Like I'm sure
it does.
You're seeing it through the scope with this team because of the series, but you gotta imagine that with most teams in the league, I mean, once you retire from the game, there really isn't a lot of options. You either commentate or coach.
Yeah, but I think some of the bigger star players
open a car lot.
Usually kind of, not up to go back into coaching, and all these guys were relevant players. Like that's what it is. A lot of coaches are they were maybe made a roster, but they weren't the stars on the team. They were the people in the trenches, the ones that, at best, it's like you look at some of the best coaches, they were, Holmgren, and those guys were like quarterbacks that never made it, and things like that. So to me, it was just weird to have all these guys that like went to Pro Bowls in the 90s are like on this coaching staff. I'm trying to think of some of the other names. There's so many here. I'm kind of missing some, but I'm missing a bunch, but trying to think who else is in there. But Deuce Staley and the defensive coordinator's like he was like a linebacker for somebody, but those two go back and forth. I just it was really good just kind of seeing all these. Mark Brunell is the quarterbacks coach. The Jaguars back in the 90s, he was the good quarterback for them when the Jaguars first started.
Look it up right now.
First started into the league. Who else was on there? There was a bunch of them. It was just like, oh man, it's like a who's who of 1990s NFL players, the coaching staff of the Detroit Lions, and it's all led by Dan Campbell, tight end.
All right, 2022 coaching staff: Dan Campbell, head coach; Deuce Staley, assistant head coach, running backs; Ben Johnson is the offensive coordinator; Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator.
Aaron Glenn, yeah.
Dave Phipp is the special teams coordinator; Wayne Blair, the defensive quality control; Mark Brunell, quarterbacks coach; Dave Carano, the defensive assistant outside linebackers; Cameron Davis is the assistant defensive line coach; Brian Duker, nice last name, buddy. He's the safeties coach; Tanner Ingstrand, Ingstrand,
okay,
tight ends game coordinator; Hank Fraley is the offensive line coach; Jet Modkins, John Morton, Steve Oliver, There's DeAndre Pennell.
Yeah, Fraley's another one too. He was a lineman back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aubrey Pleasant, Antoine Randall L., Seth Ryan, Kelvin Shepard. God, this is
Kelvin Shepard's another one. Yeah.
This is a thick office.
Yeah.
Stephen Thomas, Todd Wash, Mike Clark, Jill Costanza, Josh Schuler, Morris Henry, and Kevin Anderson.
Oh, there's a lot of those names were like big in the 90s playing football. Some of those defensive coordinator off those. And, some of the smaller positions. I have no idea who those people are. But, that's a lot. There's like over 80. I think the Hard Knocks thing, they said their coaching staff has like over 80 years of NFL veteran playing experience.
Oh, wow.
like on that roster.
Now they better put something together this season.
Well, that's just it. They all played. How many of them can coach? This is the crux of the plan.
The test is on.
So it'd be interesting. I'm kind of curious to follow the Detroit Lions now and see if they won 3 games mostly with this staff. So they're building that team. But I feel like, and I know this is Hard Knocks, but after watching those first 3 episodes, I'm like, I think they're setting up for a winning culture in Detroit there. I don't know if it's going to translate, but I feel like after watching it, I feel like, granted, we're seeing Hard Knocks and some of the bad stuff probably ends up on the cutting room floor and you never see it on TV. They show everybody in a positive light on this show. But for someone that doesn't care about the Detroit Lions, I was kind of like, I just follow these guys now just for a little bit. Keep tabs on them to see. Especially since my team is I'm always going to be a Commanders or Washington fan. That's in my blood. I can't help it. But, I don't like it.
You have to like it.
Right now I don't anyway. I'm kind of embarrassed by them, but,
Give it time, man. Let it breathe.
I will. But as long as that owner's there, they're embarrassment. It is 7:27. Let's go ahead and take a look at your weather. I was looking, nothing real exciting for the next couple days, but it looks like rain chances maybe back in the weekend and certainly next week.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got dry air in place over eastern New Mexico, so our rain chances look pretty low for the next couple of days, although we can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm today. Otherwise, pretty nice, mostly sunny and our afternoon high in the upper 80s. A few clouds and upper 60s overnight, and then it looks like upper 80s with plenty of sunshine for Friday, maybe a few showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently 67 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 76%. Winds currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Today, just mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 80s. Nothing drastic or exciting. Just a sunny, warm day in southeast New Mexico. 88 north winds right at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, looking at an overnight low of 67. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, more of today, sunny, highs right around 89. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy, looking at an overnight low of 69 degrees. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for the weekend, Saturday, rain chances back in the forecast, a 30% chance for afternoon showers on Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny, 91 for a high with south winds 5 to 15. 20% chance of rain for Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 68. Sunday, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers. Otherwise, sunny and a high of 93. Sunday night, a 20% chance of rain, mostly clear with an overnight low of 69. And then at least through midweek, they're talking rain chances. Looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday night into Wednesday, pretty good chances. But for Monday, we're looking at a 30% chance of rain, mostly sunny, 93. 30% chance of rain on Tuesday, mostly sunny, 93. Tuesday night and Wednesday, we're looking at 40% chances of rain. For Wednesday, mostly sunny, 87. So we'll see. But not much talk of rain here, at least through till the weekend. As of right now, it's New Mexico and southeast New Mexico. You know how that changes. But at the moment, that's where we're at. All right, it is 7:30. We're going to take a quick commercial break here, and then we'll come back. Actually, I'll go ahead and take a break, and then pause for news, and then we'll come back and chit-chat some more. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Roswell Ford presents the second annual Hometown Heroes Car Show and commemoration of 9/11. Saturday, September 10th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Wool Bowl in Roswell, with lots of different categories to choose from, including classic and muscle cars, lowriders and hot rods, best paint job, and so much more. Trophies awarded to first place in each category, with a $1,000 cash prize for best overall, and lots of great prizes, including a smart TV, an LGS gift card, furniture, car washes, and more. Enjoy jolly jumps, snow cones, music, and food. Best of all, it's free to spectate and only $25 to register your vehicle, with a portion of the proceeds to benefit the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. Register and get more info at roswellford.com. Sponsored by La Salsa, Decor of Carlsbad, LGS Guns and Ammo, Chaves County Heroes, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, Suds Up, One Party Rentals, Piera 106.1 FM, CRM Discount Awards, National Furniture Liquidators, Keep Chaves County Beautiful, and Let's Play Entertainment. The second annual Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September 10th at the Wool Bowl in Roswell.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
In Psalm 122, David states, I rejoiced with those who said to me, let's go to the house of the Lord. There is and should be joy in worshiping our Lord together. Personal, individual time worshiping God is essential, but there's something special about worship surrounded by others who love the Lord and want to praise His name. There is such power and encouragement in worshiping with fellow Christians that just can't be found in singular worship. Have you had a great week? Come to worship to praise and thank the Lord and encourage others around you by sharing how you've been blessed. Have you had a rough week? Come to worship to refresh your heart and soul and be encouraged by those around you who are worshiping the Lord. Phil Wickham, in his song House of the Lord, proclaims this, there's joy in the house of the Lord today, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. What a great song. Come and worship with us as we find encouragement to encourage those around us. Let's praise our Lord together.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
With your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The city of Roswell, one of 6 communities in the western United States, recently awarded federal grant funding to develop drought contingency plans aimed at taking a proactive approach to build long-term resiliency to drought. Roswell's project will plan for and prepare for drought through monitoring and prioritization of mitigation and response actions to protect water resources during times of drought. The city secured the $200,000 award through a highly competitive evaluation process. The New Mexico Department of Transportation now reopening access to downtown Carlsbad using US 62 180. Traffic was previously rerouted through New Mexico 200, the George Shoup relief route. Commercial motor vehicles must still follow the detour on New Mexico 200 because of the 8.5-foot width restrictions on the Green Street Bridge. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
How embarrassed would you be if everyone, all your family members and coworkers, could see your entire internet search history? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. USA Today reports that most Americans would rather do without their smartphone for an entire year than have anyone know their browsing history. And no, they're not embarrassed about porn specifically. It's more about how much time they spend online looking up X's or doom scrolling on WebMD. But the most embarrassing thing for most is that they spend time looking for details about the lives of people closest to them instead of just getting to know them better in person. Not to say that porn isn't part of it. The websites listed as most embarrassing in order are Pornhub, Reddit, WebMD, TMZ, and BuzzFeed. As it turns out, keeping up with the Kardashians is something we do, but we just don't want to admit it. Keep your tech smarts going with my daily podcast called Kim Commando Today. As you gear up for fall, you need the right people on your team to help your small business fire on all cylinders. LinkedIn Jobs is here to make it easier to find the people you want to talk to, faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. So this way, your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates worth interviewing faster. Every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn. Post your job for free right now at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. That's linkedin.com/Kim.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:37, and in case you have not heard, in case you just stumbled onto Earth this morning, tonight is the big Historical Society's honor celebrating 40 years of Heritage Dinners. That event is happening tonight.
That event, I'm more excited about that event after what I found out 2 days ago, which is that I've been blessed with a dinner box.
Yeah, and
I don't have anybody to share it with, so you know.
Well, and,
I've offered. I was like, anybody plus one?
And because she talked to me and it was like, I was like, yeah, that would be great. They've been very,
thanks.
So Amy was very much wanting to make sure you. Matter of fact, I got to get hard R's. I don't know if he knows yet or not. But I've got one for him.
He assumes.
I got to bring that home with me and bring it tomorrow to work. Although, is he coming to work tomorrow? Well, I know he is, but is he? Yeah,
he'll be in.
I'm like, will he be here?
Yeah, he'll be in.
Okay, so I'll bring it with me in the mañana. But tonight's the night. So if you did get your reservation in and all that, tonight's the night you're going to come pick it up. Or if you have it set up for delivered, there's going to be people around 5-ish coming knocking on your doors.
Yep.
They've got your food.
Yeah, don't draw your gun. They come bearing food.
I'm not going to lie. I got to go out and deliver.
Yeah.
I'm going to be one of these people.
Okay.
I only have one delivery to make. I got one delivery. So I'll be out and about tonight. I may be knocking on your door. I could be the Ed McMahon showing up at your house.
Yes.
There's a whole generation like, who?
Here's your dinner.
I won't have a big check, but
I'll
have a bag full of food for you. So a couple boxes of food, but which, that's way better than having to buy a magazine to get $1 million. But anyway, do they still, is that Publishers Club? I mean, is that still their thing where they sell magazines and stuff like Columbia House?
Absolutely.
I don't know if that was still their bag or did that.
Well, I think now they moved into audiobooks.
Okay.
And podcasts and stuff like that. I feel like, or not podcasts, but like audiobooks specifically. Like I think that's what they're like in the realm of.
Okay.
But I still see like the Publishers Clearinghouse, like the stamps book that they send out, whatever.
Okay.
Because let's face it, their target demo, they don't know how to use a computer.
Yeah, they kind of cater.
Well,
they cater to a generation that
That's why they're able to
technology's
do the $10,000 a week for life. It's because they know that life is not going to be that much longer for Edna. Sorry, I know somebody had to say it, but there it is.
Well, that's why you always take the lump sum.
Right. Well, yeah.
You take the lump sum, and then hopefully you're smart enough not to spend it all at once.
But then, or you don't, and then you get a chance to call J.G. Wentworth.
Yeah. No.
I have an annuity and I need cash.
There you go.
now.
You could be on a bus with dressed up like a Viking.
It's very depressing to me. Literally, my 3-year-old sang the J.G. Wentworth song to me with the number. My 3-year-old knows how to get a hold of J.G. Wentworth if he has to. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane.
It is. Well, because that's so catchy.
It is.
J.G. Wentworth, say what you want.
Yeah.
They got you remembering them, don't you?
They're not wrong. 877 cash now.
Yeah. You may never ever in your life need their services, but if you do, you're like, what's that song?
What is that?
The people dressed up like Vikings on the bus singing.
That's the thing. You're panicking. You're like, I've got a $10,000 bill I have to pay right now, and then in
your head you're all doing, I need cash. I got a cash settlement, and I need cash.
And you run it through. You're like, okay, let's see. I have an annuity. I need cash now. That and the other one was and it's the same company, but it's my money and I want it now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
J.G. Wentworth, their marketing arm, they earn their money.
Another staple in that world of commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Colonial Penn Life Insurance. For many, many moons, it was one Alex Trebek.
Oh yeah,
that was the spokesperson for that, and you're like, oh, Alex, and because of course people see it. Oh, it's Alex hawking it. It's got to be legit. Well,
no, it didn't work for Henry Winkler in reverse mortgages.
Well, that's just it. It's legit if you know the rules. Like there's a lot of legalese in there, but and for some people it works perfect. For others, probably not so much.
Right.
But they put Alex Trebek and they just say. But now they got another guy. I don't remember. His name's like Anthony or something. But they're trying to make him famous.
Really?
Well, because like I've seen, they have a series of ads with him, like Alex Trebek they did.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's one where he's like at a farmer's market or grocery store or something, and he's just shopping for produce like everybody else, and he's like, "Aren't you Anthony, the Colonial Penn guy?" And like 20 people are like trying to go up to him saying, "Aren't you the Colonial Penn guy?" And you're like, nobody's doing that to this guy. He could walk into Grand Central Station and not 2 people are going to go up to him and say, "Are you the Colonial Penn guy?"
Right.
Yet he's at some podunk farmer's market in God knows where, BFE, and 12 people recognize him. I'm like, come on.
Now here's the thing, though. When you deal with this is a commercial, like a TV commercial,
an advertisement,
because when you deal with the public in TV commercials, you have to specify if someone is a paid actor.
Well, they do all the legalese.
I was curious at the bottom of any of these these shots, does it say
I'm sure.
any paid actor or anything?
I'm
like
sure
that?
it probably does. I didn't study that close. I just noticed that. I was like, oh, really? They're trying to dap this dude up like he's famous.
Nice. Aren't you the Tidy Bowl man?
Right.
God, no.
It was just the way. It was just an interesting take on the commercial. It's like, no, we're gonna fake it till you make it. You're well known.
Mm-hmm.
Go walk around a farmer's market, and people are gonna talk about how much they know you. I would be going around going, "You recognize me? Get a job," because my commercials are only on at like 2 p.m.
I've always found the best way. Where do I know you from? The best answer ever, Pornhub.
There you go. Well, that's why everyone's worried when you go up. Where do I know you from? It's like, please don't know him from things I don't want people to know about.
It's like, no. Yeah, you really want to get a husband in trouble. Pornhub.
For me, it's more like the fast food at Wendy's. Oh, no. I don't think that guy works at Wendy's anymore.
No, probably not.
I haven't seen that in a while. But there was a hot minute. I go to Wendy's and, Mike Winters! Hey! I'm like, oh, my God.
That being said, and I've said this before, there's a guy who works the drive at the McDonald's here that I think I would love to get to have do like some commercials.
Yeah.
I don't know if you really want to talk
they're
about
all very nice people.
Right.
It's just very weird.
But
when
he always hits you with the, Like, your total is $5.14, and we'll see you at the next window.
I know who you're talking about.
He's got that voice.
At McDonald's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone through the drive-thru.
Uh-huh.
And that man, yeah, he's every interaction when you go through the drive-thru is like you're talking to Rod Roddy from Price is Right.
He's like, you gonna do sauce on those nuggets? That sounds fantastic.
Come on down.
Yeah, he's good. The guy's listening because he needs.
Yeah,
some
he's
props.
got a Rod Roddy, and it's not even the sound of his voice; it's the inflection.
Uh-huh.
It's the way in which he presents it.
Literally,
to
he
you.
goes at the next window.
He's a man that likes talking to people and likes dealing with that. So, for him. He's probably retired, I'm guessing. He's an older gentleman. And for him, it's probably just a lot of fun because he gets to meet new people and every time. And let's face it, most people are pretty happy going because they're about to get tasty food.
That's right. I'm getting delicious McDonald's.
Generally in a good mood. So people are a little more jovial. You know, the only time they're not is when they have convoluted orders and then they try to, like, I've always been. This is my rule of thumb, okay? When I come to drive-through and these kind of things. And this is why I think it's proper etiquette. Some will disagree. Some will argue with me. But I think in the society of today, this is when you're trying to care about people versus you're just being a savage to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you are ordering for an entire family and it's just you, or the whole family's with you in said car, do not go through drive-through.
I would agree.
I find that the drive-through is designed for people that have short on time and I know all of you like, well, I'm short on time. Yeah, but you're moving an armada of people. You're not moving just yourself. It takes a lot longer.
That being said, if you're going to go through the drive-through for a family order, know your order.
Well, yeah, if you're doing a mobile thing,
be ready.
If you're doing a mobile pickup, then you're on it. But if you don't order your food and you're going to the drive-through and you're like, I want 14 Happy Meals. Two quarter pound, one with onions, one without. I want a Big Mac meal, but instead of fries, can I get apple sticks? When you're doing all that mess,
it does.
People want to kill you.
It gums up the process.
Yes,
it really does.
Yeah. If you want to do all that, go inside.
We live in 2022. We have the ability to be super ready.
Yeah. Or use technology. Sit your family down in front of the app. This is how Sean does it. And be like, okay, do you want chicken nuggets? Do you want that? And you order it all there. And then when you get to McDonald's,
I'm literally just curious how many points I have right now.
The guy, the man we were just speaking, say, hey, good morning. Walk to McDonald's. How do you have a mobile order today?
Here's my
like,
four
yes,
numbers. Simple as that. Here's 4 numbers for you. There.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. And then he's like, all right, hey, Mike or Sean or insert your name here. We got your. Come on around. And then you go pick it up, and then you go home. And guess what? It's quick, easy. You have less stress. We all have less stress because you didn't try to do it all there.
Yeah.
So this is my tip to you, family people, everybody. If you go and do this stuff, use technology or go inside. Don't go through the drive-through gumming things up, especially now that we're post-COVID world here and we don't have to, we live life mostly normal unless you go to a medical facility. Just do that for your own sanity and for everyone else not cussing you out.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, these are life hacks just to make people like you more or hate you less. Right. Maybe that's more.
Yeah, not like you more, just
hate you less.
Yeah. I want to murder you just a little bit less. That's all we're after.
And while we're at it, I don't know who does driver's ed training around here because I've been on the road a lot in Texas too, mostly Texans. Because every time I saw these egregious dumb things, here comes that Texas license.
In my opinion, they all come from California. Because when I was in,
I didn't see any of those.
When I was in Vegas, every bad driver we saw had a California plate.
I want to share this tip with everyone, and for those that don't know this, you need to know this. And for the rest of you, you probably know what I'm talking about. When you're driving on the highway, I'm not talking downtown, but on an open highway, 2-lane, 4-lane if you're talking both sides, highway. You don't ride in the left-hand lane for 100 miles.
There is a specific lane that is determined to be the fast lane.
That lane is for passing.
Yes.
So when your dumb self, because you don't feel like changing lanes, just want to ride in that thing, a little over the speed limit or at the speed limit while you're just cruising, while the rest of the world's in the right lane, and now we can't pass because you're gumming up that lane.
Right.
Because you don't feel like changing lanes or whatever it is that you I'm going too fast, therefore I don't want to slow down or speed up. I want to do the same. If you're that person, you're part of the problem. You're gumming things up. You're making it more dangerous out there for people, not less dangerous.
Right.
Oh, and the people that insist on not going 10 miles under the speed limit on downtown Main Street, you are equally as dangerous as the people whipping and flying through here. Because I've seen this move where and it happens every day. I come downtown here and I go to leave. And I know speed limit's 25 downtown, 35, and then eventually, depending how far down Main, it gets up to 40 and all that. But in the more busy section, it's like 25 downtown, which you should be doing. Most people speed there. But then when you get to 35, you don't need to keep doing 25. And that's the problem. We get people that stay in the left lane doing 25 all the way up Main Street or down Main Street, depending on which direction you're going. And I'm not trying to be nitpicky. Most of them, knuckles, top of hair.
Right.
Just saying.
Right.
Knuckles on steering wheel, top of hair, that's all you see.
Now, where my critique comes into play is not so much
do the speed limit,
in
35.
The transit.
Do that, and you're going to be a lot safer.
My critique comes in your turning. First and foremost,
I'll get you on that too. Yeah.
Commit to a turn lane. If you're going to turn, get in that thing. Why are you half hanging out of it? I'm trying to pass you. You're going to turn. I understand that.
Stay in the line.
Commit to the turn lane.
Well,
and if you're going to, and this happened to me yesterday. If you're going to turn, understand there's probably somebody behind you, and don't turn at 2 miles an hour. This truck I was behind at an intersection literally was like, I guess I'm going to turn now. And it was like one of these things.
It coasted the turn.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, we get a lot of that. And one more, and then I'll shut up. Turn signals are nice.
Yes.
Please use them. They're great.
Absolutely. I understand blinker fluid's expensive.
And that when you have a turn lane in the middle and your back end is hanging out in the thing, and if you get hit, guess what? It's your fault.
That's right.
You're going to get charged with that because you did not properly put your vehicle in the turn lane. I've seen it happen. I know someone who hit someone who did that, and they got charged because
when the choices are
person,
come to a stop and get rear-ended, veer off to the side and slam into another car in this lane, or hit your car. The only there's one option there, and it's probably going to be your car.
And then while you're turning, unless you're driving a semi-truck or a very big vehicle,
you don't have to go this way to go that way.
You don't have to go left to turn right or right to turn left. You don't have to cut it wide. I see that, and they're driving like a Chevy Spark or a Hyundai Sonata, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You ain't driving an 18-wheeler. No. Why do you cut left to go right? And it's not even that sharp of a turn. They do it because they think they're driving a semi.
I am proof positive that you can hug that turn and be just fine.
Yeah. Now, if you're driving a large vehicle, then yes, you've got to accommodate for that. But if you're just driving a little two-bore car and you're driving it like a truck, I got to cut wide left. It's like, dude, you can fit that thing in people's pockets. Let's drive it a little bit normal, please.
Right.
So, anyway, I'm done ranting. Just tips. Just tips.
Just a few things.
I've just been on the road a lot the last couple days, and I see the savages that we are as drivers, and just don't be stupid.
Yeah.
That's what don't be stupid. That should be our slogan. Don't be stupid on the roads. Drive like you have a brain.
Yeah.
Try that. Just give it a try.
Shot.
Give it a go.
Give that
all right, 754.
You've tried driving every other way. Give this a shot.
Yeah, you've tried every other way, clearly. 754. Let's get you into your Chaves County sports update, your Wall Street business update, quick break as well before we wrap up the hour. Don't go away.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Got a boys soccer score for you from yesterday. Goddard wins on the road at Ruidoso by a score of 5-2, and that puts the Rockets for the year, this is very early in the season, at 2-1 as far as the win-loss ledger mark. And speaking of Goddard versus Ruidoso, that'll be the matchup today in girls soccer. That'll be in Roswell. Goddard against Ruidoso at 5:30. Goddard defeated Valencia on Tuesday. Had to go to overtime to do that, and that game was in Los Lunas. Olivia Rosso and Lexi Pinion both scored for the Rockets in that one. Olivia's a freshman. Lexi is a junior. And tonight you got some volleyball action as well. Roswell playing host to Lovington. That game is scheduled to start at 6:30. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. State Farm Fire and Casualty Company, a subsidiary of State Farm Insurance, has agreed to pay the federal government $100 million in restitution over its alleged mishandling of flood insurance claims after Hurricane Katrina. The settlement marks the conclusion of legal proceedings that began more than 16 years ago when two whistleblowers filed a lawsuit against the Illinois-based insurance company. The internal watchdog for the U.S. Department of the Interior says former Secretary Ryan Zinke lied during a casino probe. The watchdog says Zinke lied to investigators about conversations he had with lobbyists, lawmakers, and other officials regarding a 2017 bid by two Indian tribes to operate a casino in Connecticut. Zinke was appointed as United States Secretary of the Interior by former President Donald Trump. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Roswell Ford presents the second annual Hometown Heroes Car Show and commemoration of 9/11. Saturday, September 10th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Wool Bowl in Roswell, with lots of different categories to choose from, including classic and muscle cars, lowriders and hot rods, best paint job, and so much more. Trophies awarded to first place in each category, with a $1,000 cash prize for best overall, and lots of great prizes, including a smart TV, an LGS gift card, furniture, car washes, and more. Enjoy jolly jumps, snow cones, music, and food. Best of all, it's free to spectate and only $25 to register your vehicle, with a portion of the proceeds to benefit the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. Register and get more info at roswellford.com. Sponsored by La Salsa, Decor of Carlsbad, LGS Guns and Ammo, Chaves County Heroes, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, Suds Up, One Party Rentals, Hero 106.1 FM, CRM Discount Awards, National Furniture Liquidators, Keep Chaves County Beautiful, and Let's Play Entertainment. The second annual Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September 10th at the Wool Bowl in Roswell.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical.
Name to remember.
Find your path to a greater future at Eastern New Mexico University. With degrees offered both on campus and online, ENMU has the flexibility that you're looking for, and with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship, New Mexico residents can now start, continue, or finish their bachelor's degree tuition-free at ENMU. For more information, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success, that's what we're about.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:58. Stay tuned next hour. We're about 8:15 or so. We're going to talk a Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge and a lot of Dragonfly Festival talk next hour. We're going to have Steve Alvarez with Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge join us, and then Don Weld with Friends of Bitter Lake also joining us here. We're going to get an update what's happening out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, of course. Talk about Dragonfly Festival, which will be happening just a few short weeks away now, September 10th. That's right around the corner now. Now's the time to be making your appointments for your Dragonfly tours and wildlife tours and your early bird tour and all that good stuff. So we'll talk all of that with Don and Steve next hour. Also, I got to tell a quick story. This is going to be for people of my age and older. I had a CB4 moment yesterday. If you remember the movie starring Chris Rock, CB4 came out in like early 90s. Maybe it was late 80s. I think it was early 90s. and it was about a fictitious like rap group like NWA, but it starred Chris Rock. But they went to a restaurant in there, Big Biscuits. There's a word that starts with an A in the middle, which I'd say, but it's radio, and I'm okay with saying it. I just don't, try not to anyway. But anyway, we'll talk more about that next hour. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It's another indication that the recession may be here. The government reports the economy shrank at a 0.6% annual rate in the second quarter. Other signs of economic weakness are appearing as well, specifically in home sales, housing starts, and retail sales. The aftermath of the Robb Elementary School massacre, the Uvalde, Texas School District Police Chief has been let go.
The district's board of trustees voted to dismiss Chief Pete Arredondo, who has faced criticism since the May 24th massacre at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. Officers armed with rifles waited in a school hallway for more than an hour while the gunman carried out the shooting. Arredondo has tried to defend his actions, telling a Texas House committee that he did not consider himself to be the incident commander on the scene. State police had criticized the police chief for failing to take charge of the scene, not breaching the classroom sooner, and wasting time by looking for a key to a likely unlocked door. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
With the stroke of a pen, President Biden has wiped out $10,000 in student loan debt owed by those earning up to $125,000 a year. White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
The president unveiled a plan he says takes aim at unsustainable debt. For Pell Grant recipients, the federal government would cancel up to an additional $10,000 in federal loan debt. Liberal Democrats complain the debt forgiveness should be greater, while Republicans and moderates question the fairness of the debt cancellation.
They also question the constitutionality of the president's action. Fewer Americans filed for unemployment last week. Applications for jobless aid fell by 2,000 to 243,000, that according to the Labor Department. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 110 points, and NASDAQ ahead 120, and the S&P trading 32 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Enrolls for automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Are you ready to retire? Inflation is picking up, the markets are volatile, and the dream of a comfortable retirement is harder to attain than ever before. The stock market goes up and down is beyond your control. But you're at a point in your life where you can't afford to make big financial mistakes. I'm Al Labaroa, founder of Knight Strategic Wealth. Our investment strategy allows you to go up with the stock market, lock in your gains, and when the stock market goes down, your investment won't lose a dime. This works for your investments, savings at a brokerage firm, or even money at a bank. It's simple, it's safe, and that's why savvy investors work with us. Want to learn more? Text free to 833-898-0500, and we'll send our retirement readiness kit directly to your phone right now. If you want to help build a retirement portfolio that will go up with the market and literally never lose money, get our retirement readiness kit today and see how this strategy can help secure your future. Text free to 833-898-0500. Text free to 833-898-0500.
A former Malaysian prime minister is back in court for a second corruption trial just 2 days after beginning a 12-year prison term for a previous conviction.
The prosecution in this case alleges that nearly $700 million were transferred from the fund to Mr. Najib's personal bank account. Until this week, Mr. Najib, still an elected member of parliament, had been very active, rallying support around the country for himself and his party. Some feared that the judiciary would balk at putting such a powerful and wealthy figure behind bars, something that's almost unheard of in Southeast Asia. However, on Tuesday, the federal Supreme Court judges stood firm, unanimously rejecting his last-minute efforts to delay the verdict.
The BBC's Jonathan Head. Japan's national police chief is resigning, taking responsibility for the assassination of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. News and analysis at townhall.com. Germany plans to keep exporting electricity to France despite calling on citizens to fend off winter shortages by saving energy at home.
Problems at French nuclear plants have driven up electricity prices there in recent months. That has prompted power companies in neighboring countries to sell their excess energy to France. Even precious natural gas, which Germany is trying to conserve for winter, in case Russia cuts off supplies entirely, is being burned in large volumes to produce electricity for export to France. A German government spokesman said Wednesday that there were no plans to stop that practice. Keith Peters reporting.
Amazon is shutting down the hybrid virtual in-home care service it has spent years developing. It is a surprising move. It underscores the challenges Amazon faces as it moves into the healthcare arena. Amazon Care scheduled to end by the 31st of December. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Good to be deucing it again.
Yeah, welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to be back in your chair.
It is.
It is. I
Cozy.
get that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you holding down the fort for me during these things.
They didn't work out my butt spot. I was kind of worried about that.
Yeah.
I have a certain butt dimple in this
Get
chair.
your groove. Yeah,
Right.
get your BG.
Yeah. I like a good butt groove.
Maybe that's what the BG stand for, butt groove.
That's it. That's what it was. It wasn't the Brothers Gibb. No, it was the butt grooves. Which, if you think about it, most of their music were butt grooves.
All right, they were jams, boy.
Yeah, it was...
Sitting there toe tapping. Anyway. Staying alive. Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a strut to it, but when you're not strutting, you're toe tapping.
You're toe tapping.
Yeah.
And butt jamming.
And BJing.
And butt grooving.
BGing.
Yeah, BG. Butt
Yes.
grooving. Of course, one would think to have a good strut, you have to have a good butt groove.
Exactly.
Your butt has to have a good groove.
Exactly.
What it's doing.
Yeah.
In order to move, your butt must groove.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really what the Bee Gees were trying to teach us.
Yeah. You should see my my official chair at the house, my designated where I sit.
Yeah.
I got it worked in just perfect. It's
Yeah.
Oh, it's my command post. My chair is my command post. I spare no expense. But
Sure.
No, I have power reclining chair.
Nice.
From Glenn's Furniture. I've had it for about 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I love that chair. And that is the center of my universe.
I have a broken end of a couch.
My couch. We bought it like 4 years ago, and it's like it's still got new couch feel to it.
Do you know the main reason I haven't gotten a new couch? Because my couch is 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That thing is so heavy.
Yeah.
I don't want to move it out, which is why I haven't gotten a new couch yet.
Huh?
Yeah. Eventually, I'm going to have to.
Right.
I'm going to rent a U-Haul, and I'm just going to get it out of there because there's no way I can get it with my car. So I'm going to get it out of there and get a new couch. But it's so heavy.
Yeah.
So.
Well.
Anyways, I'm complaining.
But is it comfortable?
No.
No.
Not even when it wasn't broken.
Nah.
Yeah. I lived on it for a while, so
Can you get it outside and just, office space it?
Yeah, I know that's frowned upon where I live.
All right. Hopefully, I gave Roy enough time. If not, I'll have him show me. I have visual aid to go. He's good. I got a thumbs up. Good. So yesterday, when we were coming back home from El Paso, my wife, one of her favorite places to eat is in Ruidoso, and it's called the Log Cabin Restaurant. It's been there for many a moon. And they do breakfast and lunch, and they're always packed and busy when they're open, especially during ski season and horse racing season, the two touristy times of the year for Ruidoso area. But they just serve home-style cooking. They got great biscuits and gravy and huge pancakes and just good food. It's just a place that you go. It's usually very busy. Well, we were like, well, we'll be, we time it right. We'll go have brunch there because usually we get their breakfast, but they're open till like 2.
Right.
So like, okay, so we drive and we stop in Ruidoso to hit there. They're not open. Normally they're open on Wednesdays. I don't know. They're not now, but they were closed.
Okay.
So we're like, well, bummer. Which this has kind of happened twice to Kim. So she's been really hankering for log cabin. So we're like, well, Anaheim Jack's. We'll go with Trap Street. We'll go there. They have a great burger place. It's newer. It's only been a few years since there, but it was before 11. So it was like 10:40. So we were like, oh, they're not open. They open at 11.
Oh.
And we could have waited.
Sure.
But her bladder was a little full. My bladder was very full.
Right.
And I'm like, nah, I don't want to sit here for 15 minutes waiting because I gotta go to the bathroom.
Right.
So we said, well, you know what? Let's go up the hill and we'll go up to the Alto Cafe. They're a great little bar. We hadn't been there in years. Let's go to the Alto Cafe. It's going towards Alto. If you don't know, it's a little mom and pop diner that's been there 100 years.
Right.
As you're going up the hill towards Alto and that area, airport and Spencer Theater and all that. What's that noise?
I don't know. I was wondering.
Huh. Anyway, it's a weird one. It's almost like in the mic.
Oh,
I wonder if it's this mic cord.
I think it is.
We need to tell Gene about this. This is probably not right. But anyway, so we go to the Alto Cafe and they're packed. Like that place is full. We walk in and we had to wait a minute for a table till someone gets up and leaves. It was that packed. It's not a huge place. It's probably this office, and I would say you take this office, the break room in your studio, and maybe the conference room. Put all that together, and that's like the dining room of this place.
Not yet.
Yeah. I'll get it.
Hide the reveal. Hold on.
Yeah, hold the reveal. I'll give you a now. So we had breakfast there, and it's like, hey, okay. So we got our table, sat down. They're very fast, very good food. Everything was great. So I look at the menu, and I'm like, oh, all right. And then I see on the menu something that's called a Bonita biscuit.
A Bonita biscuit.
Like Lake Bonita. Down, it's that area. It's part of the culture.
Right.
So I was like, that sounds good. I'll have that. And this is where I go back to what I said earlier. My CB4 moment came to life.
Yes.
For folks that are of my age or have seen the movie CB4, of course, the movie's about Chris Rock, or is not about. It stars Chris Rock. It's about basically him starting a fictitious rap group a la something like NWA, something in that vein, gangster rap group. And it's a documentary style trial. Well, it's not like they're filming a documentary, but it's a movie. And anyway, it's a comedy and comedy ensues and things like that. But one of the establishments that they frequent is a place called Big A Biscuits. And that's what they sell is Big A Biscuits. You figure out what the A is.
Yeah. You're adults. Come on.
And they are ginormous biscuits. Well, I ordered my Bonita biscuit, which is a biscuit served, and they put egg and cheese and your choice of meat, bacon, sausage, or ham.
God, that sounds awesome.
And then they smother it in country gravy. Yeah. Well, this bad boy shows up on my table. And this should have been a clue. Because my wife ordered one, and they go, oh, do you want to share it? And I said, no, I want my own. That should have been a clue.
That should have been a hint.
That maybe I should just order one.
One for the table?
Yeah.
No, we'll each have one, thanks.
So we each ordered one. They're only like $8. They were $8.95 each.
Because when you think of biscuit,
I was like, how big is this thing? Right. It's $8.95 in this world we live in.
How big ass is this biscuit?
Exactly. So then it comes. Roy, now. Please. This is what showed up at my table. Now the video folks are going to have to enjoy this.
Look, I'm sorry. It's tarded, okay? It's tarded big.
So what you're looking at, that is a full-size plate.
Uh-huh.
That plate is the normal-size dinner plate. That entire thing is filled with biscuit.
With biscuit.
It's one biscuit. It's not 4 biscuits.
That's
6 biscuits.
That's a biscuit.
That's a biscuit that they have loaded with egg, cheese. Mine had ham on this one. Kim's had bacon in the background.
Nice. That's how it's done right there, Roy. That's a perfect shot. Matter of fact, can we get that for the rest of the show?
We're just looking at
That's
all
the partition.
biscuit. So that biscuit, is all one meal, and it was $8.95 for that thing at the Alto Cafe.
Dang.
That thing, and it's delicious, by the way. I could not finish it, but I tried really hard, and I was hurting when I left that place. But it was delicious and delightful, and I want to go back just to conquer that thing and finish. I want to
just so you could say that you ate the big.
Well, I was on the road traveling, a little bit of sense of wanting to get home. You know,
no, I understand.
I couldn't devote my full attention to savoring and enjoying said.
But now you know what you're up against.
But so if you want a CB4 experience, the Alto Cafe.
That's the most like ringing endorsement for a place I've ever heard in my life. Seriously, stop by the Alto Cafe, eat your big ass biscuit and enjoy.
It is so delightful.
That's fantastic.
All right, it is 8:15. While I have dreams of big biscuits dancing in my head, here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got dry air in place over eastern New Mexico, so our rain chances look pretty low for the next couple of days, although we can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm today. Otherwise, pretty nice, mostly sunny, and our afternoon high in the upper 80s. A few clouds and upper 60s overnight, and then it looks like upper 80s with plenty of sunshine for Friday, maybe a few showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 69 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73%. Winds currently out of the north at 6 miles per hour. For today, mostly sunny, 88 for a high with northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. No talk of rain today or tomorrow. Really not till Saturday is what they're saying at the moment. It is southeast New Mexico. These things change from time to time. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with an overnight low of 67 degrees. Winds will be out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 89 for a high. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 69 degrees. South winds 5 to 10. And then for the weekend, Saturday, we're looking at a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon, mostly sunny and 91 otherwise, with south winds 5 to 15, 20% chance of rain for Saturday night as well. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 68. Sunday, 20% chance of showers for the afternoon, sunny and 93, 20% chance of rain for Sunday night as well. Mostly clear, 69 for an overnight low. And then Monday through midweek, 30% chance on Monday, mostly sunny, 93. Tuesday, a 30% chance of rain, mostly sunny, 92, and a 40% chance of rain on Wednesday, mostly sunny, high of 87. So that's what we're looking at here for weather the next few days here. It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. We'll have Steve Alvarez and Don Well join us on the other side. Don't go away.
In Psalm 122, David states, I rejoiced with those who said to me, let's go to the house of the Lord. There is and should be joy in worshiping our Lord together. Personal, individual time worshiping God is essential, but there's something special about worship surrounded by others who love the Lord and want to praise His name. There is such power and encouragement in worshiping with fellow Christians that just can't be found in singular worship. Have you had a great week? Come to worship to praise and thank the Lord and encourage others around you by sharing how you've been blessed. Have you had a rough week? Come to worship to refresh your heart and soul and be encouraged by those around you who are worshiping the Lord. Phil Wickham, in his song House of the Lord, proclaims this, There's joy in the house of the Lord today, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. What a great song. Come and worship with us as we find encouragement to encourage those around us. Let's praise our Lord together.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For a free estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Roswell Ford presents the second annual Hometown Heroes Car Show and commemoration of 9/11, Saturday, September 10th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Wool Bowl in Roswell, with lots of different categories to choose from, including classic and muscle cars, lowriders and hot rods, best paint job, and so much more. Trophies awarded to first place in each category, with a $1,000 cash prize for best overall, and lots of great prizes, including a smart TV, an LGS gift card, furniture, car washes, and more. Enjoy jolly jumps, snow cones, music, and food. Best of all, it's free to spectate and only $25 to register your vehicle, with a portion of the proceeds to benefit the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. Register and get more info at roswellford.com. Sponsored by La Salsa, Decor of Carlsbad, LGS Guns and Ammo, Chaves County Heroes, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, Suds Up, One Party Rentals, Piero 106.1 FM, CRM Discount Awards, National Furniture Liquidators, Keep Chaves County Beautiful, and Let's Play Entertainment. The second annual Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September 10th at the Wool Bowl in Roswell.
Good morning! Start your day with breakfast from the Valley Cafe. Try the Breckwich, full or half, with sausage, crispy bacon, fluffy eggs, pepper jack cheese, and maple Dijon spread, all served on a toasted sourdough. Or their breakfast burritos with your choice of sausage, bacon, or both, perfect to grab and go. You aren't dreaming. The Valley Cafe, open 7 a.m. The Orange Building across from Church on the Move, 801 Brasher in Roswell.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all of Nook's favorites from 11 to 7 Monday through Saturday, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. All made fresh. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It's the app is what that is. So you're seeing the app there. Good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. Joining us in studio this morning, talking Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. Of course, Steve Alvarez, the man who keeps the park going and everything out there at Bitter Lake. The Ranger Steve, or whatever. We got to come up with a name for you up there. Just like the. You know, he's the guy that keeps Yogi in check. There, I'm just kidding. I kid, of course. But Steve Alvarez joining us here, and then of course Don Weld, who's with Friends of Bitter Lake, of course the organization that made up of volunteers that support and help and make Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge a great place to come and enjoy for the public too. So, good morning, guys.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, what is technically your official title?
It's Outdoor Recreation Planner. It's basically the public use officer.
Gotcha. So. Okay. Basically, he's like the official there at Bitter Lake Wildlife.
The voice of Bitter Lake.
There you go.
he's the Walmart greeter of Bitter Lake.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. That's
well,
right.
I was gonna up your game a little bit. Like he's probably downplaying you. He's like, welcome to Bitter Lake. I love you.
Yeah, there you go.
But of course, for folks that do not know, Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is literally an oasis right outside of our community here. It is We have bottomless lakes, which is our recreational fun camping and swimming and boating and all that stuff. That's bottomless lakes. Well, Bitter Lake is our refuge, our wildlife refuge. It is the rest stop of pretty much every migratory animal that comes through the western half of the United States.
Yeah, we're a big bird sanctuary.
Yeah, but mostly birds. But butterflies and everything else migrate. As I joked before, I said it's basically the pilot flying J for the wildlife.
Yeah,
it is That's kind of in a nutshell is what it is. It really, but we do have animals and wildlife and plant like obviously plants that do call Bitter Lake home year round. That also serve there as well. So.
Yeah, and that's good that you mentioned the migration because sometimes people go out there and it might be super dry and they don't see anything, but they just got to come another couple of days or a few weeks later, and birds are migrating or they'll see something different they never even imagined.
Unfortunately, nature does not have a show schedule.
That's right.
It's not like Las Vegas where the birds will come out on the hour every hour or whatever it is. That's just not how it is. I got reminded of that lesson hard in Carlsbad Caverns. That one was the one that reminded me because I was expecting because we got to go to do the bird when they go out to hunt, not the bird, the bats. They'll go out to go hunt. They usually about dusk during for a good hunk of the year.
Yeah, right. Summertime.
They go hunting. They go out for their night of catching food and doing what bats do.
Correct.
And sometimes they all come out together. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes some come out. Sometimes they're like, I'm taking the night off. I'm going to hang in and watch a TV show or something. They don't always. They don't have a set. No one told them, it's 6 p.m. You're supposed to go out of the cave now so everyone can ooh and ah at you. So the one of the nights I went there, it was a little
slow.
Yeah, they all stayed in for TV dinners, and I don't know, American Idol was on or something big. But something was on that night that they didn't want to come out. I think we saw it, but that's wildlife in general.
There is on some of that. I'm glad you mentioned that because we do have kind of a deal where it's kind of routine is the fall migration of the cranes and the snow geese.
Yeah.
If you have not seen it, it's one of the coolest things to see. We get like about 25,000 sandhill cranes will arrive in October.
Yeah.
October, November, December, January, around there. And, for those on good seasons, for those who want to view that, we have a flight out in the morning where the birds are leaving the refuge to go out for feed. And then we have the fly-in, and as the sun's going down, they come back to the refuge. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, so the early morning, is that around dawn, or is that later or a little earlier?
Just as soon as the sun starts coming up.
Okay,
when the light starts showing.
If you're an early morning person, then you might want to check out the morning. But if you like looking at the back of your eyelids at dawn, then come out for when they do it in the evenings.
And every year they have different spots where they like to congregate, and so if on those spots that are close to the road, you'll notice a larger amount of visitation because they'll be next to the side where people can see them, and so some of our locals who know the
good spots,
the
routines,
routines, they'll come in every afternoon driving just to see the flight,
just to come and it's so part of their day.
Correct.
That's Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Correct.
That's right.
It's home for wildlife. But we as people get to come and observe and watch, but that's why it's not like bottomless lakes. We don't want you swimming in the lake. We don't want you, doing the type of camping and things that you do over there. We want to preserve that place to keep it as minimal human contact or impact as possible.
Right.
We want to let nature do its thing.
Correct.
We, the humans, kind of keep, and really this is kind of the biggest job, and we'll get to the dragonfly here in a minute, but for the friends and for you and your staff and everyone that the biggest fight that they have out there is keeping the things that are native and the things that belong here there. But we have a lot of flowers, bugs, animals, and things that through various methods have now come to New Mexico that aren't native to this area. and some of them are very hardy in this climate, and they're crowding out some things that are native to the area. So the big fight really is keeping native, and keeping the foreign stuff from overtaking everything.
Yeah, and that's happening around the whole country. A lot of refuges, it's not our main
It's
thing,
not unique to here,
but there's a variety of places that certain exotic animals or plants will get loose, and then they find the climate just suiting for them, and they start producing.
Sure.
And then before you know it, they're out competing.
Well, that's life. How life works.
Yeah.
That's how humans work. That's everything of life on this planet works. It finds way to grow and survive and adapt, and that's what happens.
It's called migration.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, and that's what Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is all about. That it's there to keep, to preserve, for us as humans to study and understand it better, and for the community to enjoy and see it without getting involved.
The refuge belongs. We're part of a network of refuges along the flyways, and our main priority at the refuge is migratory birds. But we do have a variety of other animals. We have endangered species that are found just in that area. So
got to protect them.
Exactly.
But one of the biggest public event out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is just around the corner here. The 2022 Dragonfly Festival is happening here that weekend of September 10th. That Saturday, September 10th, the main day. But it as it always is, it's a weekend event. We're gonna tell you more about them here in just a second. But some special stuff on Friday for folks. And then, of course, they do Sunday tours, too. If your Saturday's just too busy, they have it's way scaled back. It's not all the fun, all the different booths and things that are coming out. They're all there Saturday. They're not coming back Sunday. But some of the tour guides will be there, and they're going to do some more of the Dragonfly tours up until about noon that day. So if you want to, if that works a little better, you can sign up there.
Yeah,
So.
and I'm glad you mentioned, the Dragonfly Festival. Like Mike said, we try to protect the area, and a lot of times another part of our mission is education. We're educating people here in Roswell in the local community that, hey, right next door, you've got a unique, special place. I mean, a lot of diversity of wildlife, and we want to show off our stuff.
It's literally an entirely different world, and it's right in your own backyard.
Yeah, a lot of people are amazed when they find out what is actually living out there.
It's an oasis. If you remember, people my age watching Looney Tunes as a kid, and you see Porky Pig or Bugs Bunny go through the desert, and then he hits this spot with these beautiful trees and water, and there's usually some fictitious mermaid or whatever out there. That's not there, but that's exactly what.
I don't know. I keep looking for that.
Some guy with a drink saying, "Hey, welcome." That's not there, but the rest of that is kind of what Bitter Lake really is.
It really is kind of. It is. We even use the theme Oasis in the desert as part of our film and orientation movie.
Yeah.
Going back to the Dragonfly Festival, is that we want to show everybody all this stuff, and we talked about diversity. One of the reasons why we have a Dragonfly Festival is that because we have over 100 different species just in that area of dragonflies. We have dragonflies that are supposed to only be found near the ocean because of Bitter Lake is highly saline. We have a group of dragonflies that will lay its eggs there on the refuge and then reproduce.
Nice.
Just a small population. And then we got the Pecos River, and we got natural springs popping out of the ground, and we got our regular marsh area. There's a lot of variety of water there that's what attracts.
It creates the different wildlife and species.
Correct.
Now, are there any breeds of dragonflies that are considered migratory, or are they all pretty much sticking?
I think there is. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's like only one or two.
Because I know
not
we've
many.
talked before,
Yeah.
you and I think this was maybe about butterflies, and they're migratory, but in a different way than you think. Yeah. Like the birds, they're making the trip north, but like some of these butterflies, it's like generational migratory, where these set of butterflies will get us here, and then they kind of die off and create the next group that gets the herd farther down.
Correct.
And so it's migratory, but it's a little different.
And I'm glad you mentioned about butterflies, because even though it's a Dragonfly Festival, one of our events that we've done in the last couple of years that's real popular is we release monarch butterflies. Right now, across the country, monarch butterflies are
endangered.
Well, they're being considered as listed as endangered because their populations are going down.
But we're trying to do stuff to prevent it from going full into danger.
Correct,
basically.
and we're encouraging our communities to plant native plants, milkweed, butterflies. Kind of do some habitat type stuff in your home.
Sure.
But we're also encouraging that our friends of Bitter Lake have established a butterfly trail, and they've been planting some stuff to get. And we've seen monarchs starting to come on their own at the refuge. So
my wife did one in her second grade class where they got some of the butterflies, and they in the classroom they watched them, go from the larvae into the caterpillars and pupate into the butterflies, and then when they were ready, they released them.
Yeah, that's a cool. To teach, and that's a cool lesson.
Her class has been doing that for the last couple of years now. So
Sweet.
It's a cool thing. So.
Well, going back to the butterflies, if you're interested, on Saturday at 12:00 noon, we are releasing 200 butterflies.
This upcoming Saturday?
No.
Or on Dragonfly.
On Saturday,
part of
September 10th.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can sign up at the refuge for a butterfly if you have a child, grandson, or friend, or little kid you want.
They want to release one.
Yeah, exactly. You call up. You get a free ticket, and that ticket you'll have to pick it up at the visitor center. And the first 200 people that give us calls will get the butterfly tickets.
Okay.
And then they'll meet at certain locations. We'll tell you where.
Okay.
On Saturday, on the day of the festival, and at 12 noon we release them.
Oh, cool.
And if you don't have any kids and you want to see the butterflies, just to check it out,
yeah,
pretty cool. So.
Do they do like all at one time, where each
No,
one
they
loses
individual. It's kind of like a photo op for the kids.
Okay.
The kid will go.
I got
off.
you.
We
So
put
it's
them
not
on
like a sea of butterflies are going to come out. It's
Yeah.
one, two at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Cool.
So that's why we do different locations so that we can get more.
Well, and
you got 200 of them. That takes time.
Well, and I'm guessing this is the natural cycle of life. This place we're talking about here.
Right.
Butterflies aren't at the top of the food chain.
Correct.
What could happen is if you've got 200 butterflies going out, there's probably a lot of people but animals that think butterflies are pretty tasty.
Well, dragonflies.
Birds, dragonflies.
I've seen dragonflies.
And they're
going
like,
after.
they're releasing the food. Let's go see. And so we don't want that either, where next thing you know, all these things come out and start eating butterflies.
But one thing that's good, I'm glad you kind of mentioned that.
There's other things that eat butterflies.
They are, but
that's just like a sea of steaks flying out there for one of these. It's like, dude.
There is a defensive mechanism that the monarchs in particular have.
Okay.
They as larvae, as caterpillars, they eat milkweed plants.
Okay.
And they're very toxic. So animals, that's why they're so bright. The orange color is to warn everybody else.
Okay.
If you eat me, you will pay the price.
Gotcha. It makes sense. I didn't know if that was for mating with the colors, because I know sometimes other birds and things
that's part of it too.
Yeah.
But the big part is a warning to the
is a defense mechanism.
I've actually seen films where like a frog caught one and then they went into convulsions because of the poison. So they're very toxic.
Okay.
So
good tip: don't try to eat butterflies.
Don't try to eat monarchs.
Other butterflies have a similar mechanism too.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool part about nature.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like. And this is why a lot of us, I'm sure you guys included, get fascinated when you watch like National Geographic and they've got those things about animals and their habitats and things. Like I did it on the radio here. I did a whole rant. I'd watch this video about Komodo dragons, and I was like, I knew I was aware of them, but I didn't realize how tough I'm of the opinion the scariest animal on the planet is the Komodo dragon. I've come to that conclusion. Thank God they're limited to where they're at.
Crocodiles and alligators are pretty spooky too.
Well, I think these things would take them. Like I'd even put a lion up against one of these things, and I'll give it to the Komodo. It's just because if they bite you, you're dead. Yeah. Because there's so much bacteria in their mouth that it's poisonous when they bite you.
That's right.
They've got uber thick skin, so you can pound on them all day, and it's not going to affect them. They'll eat you dead. They'll eat you alive. They don't care. And they look like dinosaurs when they get big. They literally look like something out of Jurassic Park when they get big.
They are huge.
They're the most frightening thing, and they'll chase you. Like I've seen them watch and bite an elk and then just chase it until it died and then ate it. It'll eat other Komodo dragons. They're cannibal. They'll eat their young. Those things are savage. But anyway, back to dragonflies.
Yeah, wildlife is real fascinating.
Yeah.
So we could talk about a lot of other animals. But yeah, with time we have the Dragonfly Festival, we want to really promote it. Something that the public may want to know is on Friday, September 9th, we have a presentation in the auditorium at 6:30. It's free, but it's first come, first serve.
This kind of unofficially kicks off Dragonfly Festival weekend.
We have a lady named Laura McCain, and she does raptors of New Mexico, birds of prey. So she'll have some hawks.
Not the dinosaur raptors from Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
Not the Ford pickup truck
we're
either.
We're going back to the kimono dragon.
No. The birds of prey raptors, yes.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, by popular demand, she's really good presenter. She knows her stuff on birds, and she brings live birds. She's got vultures, she's got owls and hawks, and it's really good for the kids up front. And the program lasts for about an hour. After that program, we'll have the Roswell Astronomy Club set up some spot and scopes.
Good deal.
It's really good out there because
not a lot of the city lights don't impact it.
So they love it out there. And so if that's Friday, September 9th, free, but make sure you come early. It kicks off at 6:30, but as soon as the auditorium fills, we close it off. And the last couple of times it's gotten full. So
maybe get there 5:45 or so. Get there a few minutes early.
I would even
maybe 5:30. Get there.
Exactly.
That way you got a good spot. And while you're there, just walk around and check out that immediate area.
We have the bookstore will be open and the nature store. You do some shopping. They got some unique things.
And that's a great
there.
way to support Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Right.
That's run by the Friends of Bitter Lake. It's all the things you buy there. The money goes back into the programs and the conservation projects.
For conservation, for education. The biologist needs project stuff, money that comes
helps
to them.
To pay for the festival.
Exactly.
And this is what and to be honest, it really serves as twofold because we do want the public. Bitter Lake is kind of that hidden gem where a lot of people either confuse it with bottomless lakes or don't realize it's out there.
Oh yeah.
And we want to just spread that word and say we've got this beautiful thing right in your own backyard that we would love for you to come and enjoy and see and preserve it. Obviously, because the idea is your grandkids need to be able to come out there and see it too.
And we've had people that have just shown for like the first time and they really fall in love with it. And many of them end up joining the Friends. And, they become, we had one guy, Bill Flint, he used to go take pictures and he became the president of the Friends. And he just really
I think when you get out there and you see it, then people connect. It's like, oh, now I get it. I get the nature. I get why this is here and it makes sense.
Correct.
And then once they do, it's like, I want to get involved with this. I want to, because I gotta be honest. I think you guys, when they get out there, they do projects that are really making a big impact, and it's one of those sense of accomplishments. Like, look, all we did was work on a dam here, or work on a trail, or something like that, or do, we did some weeding.
Yeah.
But that is such a difference in the ecosystem, and it like to get the most bang results for your buck. In something like you do something tangible and you can legitimately see the benefits of that labor.
Oh yeah,
right there instantly. And I think
just like even our butterfly trails that the Friends put together. For a while at the very beginning, we didn't track very many butterflies, but it wasn't the last 3 years. I'd say we've gotten a lot more variety of butterflies just in that little area.
Sure,
so it's kind of cool.
I'm curious. Real quick, I'm going to sidetrack us one more time, but in the same vein. Like you said, these are migratory animals and things, but if you're out there every day and seeing things, do you see patterns and things? Do you see certain animals?
Sure.
And you're like, oh, there's the guy who always, there's the geese that always comes this way. There's the, you know what I mean?
Pattern, yeah. You'll see, like, for example, like in the winter, you'll see a bird called a loggerhead shrike. You don't see it often, but it's a pretty bird. They'll be in the bushes. When it flies, it kind of makes like a white and grayish flash, so you kind of know which ones they are. They leave, and then the mockingbirds come in, and you'll see mockingbirds start. And you won't see very many loggerheads. So that little pattern, you'll see things like that.
We have the swallows that come in.
Okay,
they come in and nest right there at the nature store.
That's great. So they really come. They get close to the public.
Oh, yeah.
As far as wildlife goes.
That's exactly. That's good. Don said that because right at the entrance to the door, you'll see
their nestings. Yeah.
So there's a reminder. All the wildlife out there is wildlife at the refuge. It's their place. They're just letting you come check it out.
Correct.
Yeah.
Remember that whenever you're out there,
we're in their home.
That's their home.
Yep.
You're visiting.
Yep.
You treat it like that. You don't go touching everything. You
Correct.
don't go rummaging through their stuff. That's like you wouldn't do it at someone else's house. You don't do it out at the refuge.
You're a visitor, like you
said.
said.
You don't disturb the plant life and things as little as possible. That's stay on the trails, things like that. You don't go wandering.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Hey, the other thing, let's go back, I guess, to the festival because we don't have time. But as far as on Saturday, the bird presenter that did the program on Friday, she'll be doing another repeat on Saturday at 2:00.
Okay.
In our auditorium. Same thing, first come, first serve. There's two other presenters in the auditorium that are going to be really cool. At 11 o'clock, Justin Stevenson is going to be coming and talking about bats of New Mexico. He's a real good expert on bats, and it'll be interesting to hear what he's got to say about this COVID release stuff.
He'll tell you about Carl's bat.
Yeah, he'll talk about Carl's
he knows about that
and stuff. So he's going to be, and his program starts at 11. It's free.
Good deal.
So it's he's really, really good, real knowledgeable. And then at 1 o'clock, for the first time, we're having a local photographer. Guy's named Jerry Holm. He has gone to the refuge. He likes going out there and just relaxing and taking pictures at times throughout
taking pictures of life as it happens out there.
So he's kind of made like a journal of the refuge, and he's a great photographer. And what he's going to be doing, he's going to show his images of Bitter Lake, and then he's also going to try to teach you some tips on taking nature photography. He's a real good photographer.
So if you always wanted to do some of that,
how to catch, he'll give you some tips,
how to
some
catch
pointers.
those pics, good deal.
He's one of the. I've been in this business for a while, and he's a super photographer.
Well, anyone that has a passion for something, they always do a better job of teaching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it sounds like this man has a passion for his photography and what he does.
Correct. So those three programs will be on Saturday. So they're free. First come, first serve.
Yeah.
Again, one time. I just go over it one more time. 1 o'clock is Jerry Holmes photography. 2 o'clock is the Birds of Prey, and then at 11 o'clock is the bat program. So those
Excellent.
three. And you can get online to see if you forget. You get
is there
online.
a schedule of events there?
Exactly.
Is it at Friends of Bitter Lake?
You can go Friends of Bitter Lake, or you can go on Bitter Lake National Wildlife Refuge, and you can go on Facebook. We update a lot on Facebook.
Just do Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge on Facebook.
Correct.
Search it, and it should pop right up, and you can get all the information there.
Yeah.
And that's just part of what we're talking about, because some of the main stuff that's also part of the Dragon, that's traditionally always a part of the Dragonfly Festival. Of course, Friday night, like you said, you got the presentation at 6 there.
Correct.
And then the Stargazers will take over after that. But early Saturday morning, the early bird tour that starts at 6:30. It's about a 2-hour tour.
Correct.
And that's the one where you get to go out and see some of the early stuff.
We go behind areas that normally are not allowed to the public. We have two volunteers, and they're expert birders. One of them is like almost like a professional wildlife biologist. He's really, really good. He's been there for years. Jim Montgomery, very, very knowledgeable. In fact, whenever we get new biologists, they always go to him for the information because he kind
of indoctrinates into the local lay of the land, so to speak. Here,
so he's really good.
That's cool.
On that bird, we are only running one van, and it'll be like a 12, 15, between 13 people on there. I think it's more than half filled. So
so there's still a little bit of room.
Yeah,
but don't wait.
Yeah, don't wait, because I'm sure that one's going to get.
These
full,
are free, by the way. Doesn't cost anything.
All you got to do is call, make
reservations,
reservations, and we'll put your name down.
Now, if 6:30 a.m. is not your cup of tea for on a Saturday morning, don't worry. There's lots of other tours. The early bird tour. That tour is only Saturday morning, 6:30 to 8:30.
Correct.
However, beginning at 8 a.m., they'll start the Dragonfly tour.
Yeah, that's our most popular tour.
Mm-hmm.
That one always gets booked on Saturdays.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah,
that's the first.
And that's why we do the Sunday tours. We just get the guides agreed to stay one because they come from different parts. Texas, they'll come from.
They just love the dragonflies, love the refuge.
Just real dedicated.
This is their thing.
So they'll give the tours also at Sunday.
Okay.
There's three vans they'll take out. 3 different tours.
They're
on
basically
Sunday.
on the hour from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Saturday. Each tour is about an hour and a half, but
Correct.
they leave on the hour.
Yeah.
You do need to pre-register to sign up to get your time slot, but like Steve was mentioning, they fill up quick. So if you're very narrow-winded, like I can only do it at 10 or I can only do it at 8, then please go to Friends of Bitter Lake or go on to the Facebook, whatever, and reserve your time.
You can phone number down there that they can call.
575-625-4011 or 575-244-6256. Again, 625-4011 or 244-6256.
Correct. Right.
They also are offering the wildlife tours on Saturday, and those run about an hour and a half as well.
Yeah.
They'll leave every 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12:45, and 3 p.m.
Yeah, correct.
And those cover more just than the dragonflies.
The dragonfly tours focus on just nothing but dragonflies.
Gotcha.
The wildlife biologist tour, we have our biologist that just knows the area very well, and they'll take you out to the refuge. And they'll tell you about our management, how we take care of it. Like for example, the salt cedar. We get rid of that. He'll tell you how what our plans are in the future, how to work with that.
Yeah, okay.
Water management. Because a lot of times people go out there and there's no water because we haven't filled the ponds yet. So we get the spring water and fill it up. Timing is a big critical deal. We have an endangered sunflower that's in the refuge. And it starts blooming right about the time the Dragonfly Festival occurs, and and even a little bit sometimes earlier, but normally about the time of the festival and then afterwards. And if you hit it just right, it's really beautiful. It's really
so you get to see that on the wildlife.
Just a whole acres of sunflowers all in blooming at one time.
Cool.
It's really really cool. So
wow,
but that's due the water management. We have to have water in certain areas at certain times, and he'll tell you what.
Speaking of that, as far as the rains and things we've been getting,
we got flooded.
Was it a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, it was good. We were just before the rainstorm. Me and the manager were talking about how dry. This was one of the driest times that I've been there. And then, like over the weekend, I came driving in. I go, "Oh my gosh, look at all the water!"
Good.
It's all up.
So you guys were happy to see it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. For
I know
the
we
refuge.
always need the moisture, but we don't always need it at one time.
It was the first. This is probably one of the historical flooding area for a while. The river banks of the Pecos overflowed into the refuge, and it actually crossed into our wildlife drive. So for one day, we had to shut off parts of the loop.
Sure.
Yeah,
which is understandable.
Yeah,
considering.
But it's good. So it'll be interesting to see how many. Where there's water, there's a lot of dragonflies. So it'll be interesting to see if it just shot up the numbers.
I'm guessing too. Probably just a good rule of thumb: pack plenty of bug spray for yourself.
Exactly. I happened to look at some of the water, and they are already a mosquito larvae.
Because as soon as you get a puddle, mosquitoes start showing up.
Yeah, there was a lot of mosquito larvae in the puddles that I
But that's good food for the dragonflies.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's a lot.
Well,
they should be good fat by the Dragonfly Festival.
They call the dragonflies mosquito hawks.
Nice.
Because they basically
So
prey
they
on
are your
mosquitoes.
friend.
Oh, yeah.
But the ones that the dragonflies don't eat, they're going to bite you. So maybe put some bug spray on before you come out and keep her fresh.
Exactly.
Bug spray and sunscreen, probably two things that.
Water.
And plenty of water, of course. Of course, they will have the Boy Scouts and some other vendors
the Boy
doing
Scouts
things.
are sending some, this year, for the first time, we're actually having snow cones there.
Oh, nice.
And the nature store will have water and sodas and stuff.
Good deal, too. So you can get drinks and cool off.
Right.
But by all means, bring your canteen of water if you're going to be out on the tours and things, and need more hydration and all that. And then, of course, like you said, visit like some of these different walks and tours and things. But also make sure to visit the booths. There's I know the quilt is one of the things that friends do.
The friends have it's called a drawing where they one of our local volunteers made a quilt designed with dragonflies in mind, and we've been doing that traditionally for maybe 15, 20 years. And so,
that's just part of the fabric.
You just buy a ticket from the friends. They'll sell a ticket. The tickets are $1 each, or you get 6 for $5.
Great. So buy a bunch.
Right. Yeah,
and
that
all
money,
that goes back
to the
program.
Sponsoring for the festival. That
I won't be there this Saturday, but Labor Day Saturday, that late Labor Day weekend, Saturday, I'll be at Farmers Market.
Yes.
And I will have those tickets for the drawing.
Okay, so you can buy some.
You can buy there, or you can buy them at the festival itself. We'll have at the Friends table.
So, yeah, because I think by design, the Friends table is near the American Legion table, which is...
Right. Well,
Because Don is dumping back and forth between all of them.
He's got the Legion and the Bitter Lake and Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
all right
and the
together.
Alzheimer's. They're all right there because Don's
doing all three,
running all three of those booths there. So, Don's involved with a lot of stuff here
he's a
too.
good volunteer.
But please, if you've never been to the Dragonfly Festival, make 2022 your first time. Come out.
Yeah.
I swear you're going to be blown away by what you see out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a fun day. We geared it towards kids as far as families like.
Sure.
So a lot of stuff we have. The Department of Game and Fish here of New Mexico, they set up a fishing pool, and
Little
they actually
pond.
have a fishing pond. And they actually
They've been doing that
either,
for a couple of years now.
Yeah, they either have catfish or trout, and it's amazing to watch the little kids catch their first fish. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
well, and it's odds are pretty good since they got it set up for you. So it really,
so it's
because
good.
they know, you know, with the sport of fishing, the fun, and by the way, that's an important role in when it comes to humans and our doing that. But fishing, that's part of that. We're part of the ecosystem in that a little bit.
Exactly.
And through these types of programs, your kids learn the right ways to do this.
Correct.
And all of that.
Yeah, that's educational. They teach them, and we want to really thank those guys from the Department of Game and Fish. They have done a wonderful job over the years, and we work as partners to getting this program going. And they're going to also have an archery shooting area where the kids go ahead and get bow and arrow and down
which is a
range.
great.
Yeah. So something they're going to have some other stuff there too.
If you need those kids that need a little patience, discipline, things like that, archery is a great tool to teach that kind of thing.
It's a cool deal. So then behind the visitor center, there is an area where we have arts and crafts, and there's face painting. There's
especially for kids.
They make little dragonfly ornaments, and it's really cool. The kids really get involved in it. And then we have an exhibit tent where all these conservation groups and just some vendors will be there. So it's just a fun time to go there. So.
Yeah. And again, obviously, we'd love to have you come, sign up for the drawings and buy food and things while you're out there because all that helps Bitter Lake. But remember, the Dragonfly Festival is free. It's free to come out. It's free to participate in these tours. It's free to come to the different informational panels and things like that. Friday night when you come out for at 6 or come out for Stargate, all of that's free of charge.
Yep.
If you'd like to make donations, if you'd like to, we'd love to have you because that's how Bitter Lake keeps going and keeps
and join the friends.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're wanting to get involved, Friends of Bitter Lake's are great. If you love getting your hands dirty and doing like gardening and that type of work, and you've done all you can do at your house and looking for other places to do that kind of stuff, Bitter Lake, Friends of Bitter Lake can help. They've got some stuff for you, but
exactly,
we'll put you to work.
And and I'm glad you mentioned that, Mike, because we do. We haven't done this festival because of the COVID epidemic. We hadn't done it for the last 2 years, and so we're getting regrouped again. And our source of volunteers, we're going to need some more volunteers. So if you're out there and you're bored and you want to help out with the Dragonfly Festival, give us a call at the Refuge, and we'll put you to work during the festival.
Absolutely. I just saw the time. Again, questions, reserve tickets for any of the Dragonfly or Early Bird or Wildlife tours. You can go find either Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge on Facebook, Friends of Bitter Lake, is it .com or org? I always get it mixed. .org. Yeah. And then, of course, you can always call either of these numbers, 575-625-4011. Again, 575-625-4011 or 575-244-6256. 575-244-6256. And then don't forget about the live bird programs 11 and 2. Don't forget about the kids fishing pool, the arts and crafts, the scavenger hunt, the photography, and of course the tours and everything.
And you can make your tours. You can go do a Dragonfly tour at 8:00, and then you can do the wildlife tour later on.
Sure.
And then you can go to the auditorium. You can plan your whole day and call us, and we can help you set it up.
If you want, we can make you as busy or as carefree as you want at the event. Just give us a call.
You got it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, we'll see you next time. Go get. I made them hungry with showing them a big old biscuits. Now they're probably going to find breakfast somewhere. There you go. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mike.
Quick break before we get you in the news. Don't go away.
Roswell Ford presents the second annual Hometown Heroes Car Show and commemoration of 9/11. Saturday, September 10th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Wool Bowl in Roswell, with lots of different categories to choose from, including classic and muscle cars, lowriders and hot rods, best paint job, and so much more. Trophies awarded to first place in each category, with a $1,000 cash prize for best overall, and lots of great prizes, including a smart TV, an LGS gift card, furniture, car washes, and more. Enjoy jolly jumps, snow cones, music, and food. Best of all, it's free to spectate and only $25 to register your vehicle, with a portion of the proceeds to benefit the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. Register and get more info at roswellford.com. Sponsored by La Salsa, Decor of Carlsbad, LGS Guns and Ammo, Chaves County Heroes, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, Suds Up, One Party Rentals, Hero 106.1 FM, CRM Discount Awards, National Furniture Liquidators, Keep Chaves County Beautiful, and Let's Play Entertainment. The second annual Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September 10th at the Wool Bowl in Roswell.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call us.
Giveaway will cost at least $300 billion, with critics questioning its constitutionality, fairness, and warning that it will stoke the fires of inflation. The president transferring student debt from those who took out the loans to those who didn't.
Acting to fulfill a campaign promise, the president announced the key component of his student debt relief plan.
We will forgive $10,000 in outstanding federal student loans.
Individuals earning less than $125,000 a year will be eligible for the debt forgiveness, and Pell Grant recipients will qualify for $20,000 in canceled student loans. The president acknowledged his critics on the left and the right.
Well, I believe my plan is responsible and fair.
Greg Clugston, Washington.
It was an emotional meeting.
Our babies are dead. Our teachers are dead. Our parents are dead.
Big turnout last evening at the Uvalde, Texas School Board meeting several months after the massacre at Robb Elementary School. Board members deciding the fate of the school police chief.
Mr. Board President, I move that good cause exists to terminate the non-certified contract of Pete Arredondo effective immediately.
And the board did fire the chief, who had been criticized for the delayed police response to the shootings that left 19 youngsters and 2 teachers dead. The audio from the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District. The government reports the economy shrank at a 0.6% annual rate in the second quarter. Other signs of economic weakness are also appearing, specifically in home sales, housing starts, and retail sales. Watching Wall Street, stocks are higher this morning. Right now, the Dow is up 135 points. The NASDAQ Composite Index ahead 135 as well. The S&P trading 34 points higher. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, over-designed, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
Some French politicians are accusing Britain of negligence following reports of untreated sewage being discharged into the sea.
In a letter to the European Commission, the MEPs accuse Britain of exempting itself from environmental standards since Brexit, and they call on the Commission to take action through legal or political means. One of them, Pierre Kalskind, chairs the European Parliament's Fisheries Committee. He said that in the short term, there's a threat to bathing waters in northern France, and in the longer term to marine life and the fishing industry. Pollution warnings were put in place, mostly along England's southern coast, after untreated sewage was discharged following heavy rain. Water firms have said they are committed to tackling the issue.
The BBC's Jessica Parker. The outgoing UN human rights chief suggesting her office may not make good on a pledge to release its long-awaited report on China's Xinjiang region by the end of her term next week. News and analysis at townhall.com. New gun rule came in under the radar this week.
While everyone was focused on either praising or griping about the Biden administration's student loan forgiveness plan Wednesday, the Biden Department of Justice finalized a rule that classifies parts in a gun parts kit as firearms that require a background check to buy. The goal is to do away with a small fraction of guns that liberals refer to as ghost guns, or firearms Americans can build themselves. It isn't a new practice. For many Americans, it's long been a hobby. The new rule demands that retailers do background checks before selling the kits that contain the parts necessary for someone to build a gun. Tasha Stevens reporting.
South Korea has signed a $2.25 billion deal with a Russian state-run nuclear energy company to provide components for Egypt's first nuclear power plant. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace Inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5. He was trying to wolf down a candy bar and a beverage.
No, I just realized I'm not going to be able to trill. Going into that break, I'm like, no, there's no way.
Too much hazelnut in your...
I just love the fact that...
Oh, the biscuit's still there.
You put the biscuit back.
Oh, the biscuit's back. We could, doing this video feed, we could Lady and Tramp that biscuit, you and I.
Yeah, we could. Should we meet in the middle?
Just kind of...
I was trying that earlier, but it's like my face kind of...
Oh, my face, yeah. I gotta go back. I gotta open a little bit more.
Get down,
too far.
This is riveting for the radio audience.
All right, sorry. This is why I have a mentality of a 12-year-old. Sorry.
Everybody's already at work.
People that are sirs. Sirs. I'm sirs. Oh, that reminds me. There was this was years ago, and I think it was scouting or something. There was this guy who was yelling at us. I don't even remember why, but I think he was drunk. And I don't even remember the scenario or I just don't. But all I remember is the kept guy going, I'm first. I'm first. And he said it like 50 times.
I'm
first. Like, you serious, huh? I'm first. You serious? I'm first. Oh, yeah. I kept mocking him. I was like, you serious, huh? I'm first.
You know,
I was making it more. I don't even remember the scenario. The guy was being a jerk about something, and we were angsty kids.
It is funny how like drunks, certain drunk people, latch on to phrases, and then like that's their thing. Like my dad, he would always be the "you get it" guy. Yeah, you get it. And then like when he got super like particularly toasted, he would start going on his "get it" thing, and then he'd say like "you get it." And he started laughing.
He enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was not That's not a pleasant one.
Nah,
I think I just unlocked a box.
He's like, I got to go talk to a counselor.
I might need to, actually, yeah. I didn't remember that until literally just now.
A can of worms, and he's like, all right.
Thanks, Mike. It's amazing what unlocks what.
That's right. I peel back layers. That's what I do. I'm an onion peeler. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes,
hope you're having a good one. No talk of rain today.
Yeah, not as many clouds, which is kind of a bummer.
I was when I noticed going back and coming from El Paso, I've come to the conclusion that the rain clouds are attracted to the mountains. Because as I was driving to El Paso, and you get on, and I went the way through Alamogordo, through the bypass, and that was a little bit quicker way to go for me. So that stretch of 54 between Alamogordo and El Paso, for folks, it's a whole lot of nothing in between that little trip there. But you're kind of driving right through the middle of the valley.
Right.
You've got the mountain chain, the between Alamogordo and Ritos, that's kind of on one side of you, and then you've got the mountains by El Paso ahead of you,
right?
And then there's some mountains farther off to the west.
So you're just kind of in that.
So you're kind of in this
that valley region,
canyon or valley or whatever,
right?
There. And I looked in all directions, and blue sunny sky. You look over these mountains, ominous gray black clouds. You look at these mountains, ominous gray black clouds. You look at these mountains, ominous gray black clouds. And here I'm sitting in this, and I was like, I'm guessing they just hang out in the mountains and then go away. Because it never happened where I was at, never rained, it didn't do nothing, but it just lingered, hanging around up in the mountains the whole time.
When weather patterns move through areas, they stop and hit their peaks usually at these mountainous areas, and a lot of the mountains stop a lot of the winds, a lot of the other stuff from moving into those valley areas, which is basically the same reason that it never rains in Vegas, but when it does, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of was seeing that firsthand going through El Paso there and just seeing the
mountains were just blocking.
Yeah, it was cool to watch from afar, but I'm kind of like, dude, I'd like some moisture.
That I had one of those experiences I think it was last weekend. I was driving and I watched a cloud above start to kind of consume the ground, like it was moving on the ground. I've never seen this before in my entire life, but it was chasing after a van. It was very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah, but I got to see some of that, and I was kind of, and to this day, I've forgotten, because for folks that don't know, when my wife and I was in the last year of my service in the military when I met Kim. So for that year of dating, she lived here in Roswell. I lived in Alamogordo. So every weekend, either I'd drive here or she'd drive to Alamogordo. And so I've done that trip from Alamogordo to Roswell. I mean, every weekend.
A lot.
It was so I could do it in my sleep. Back then it was only 2-lane highway too. From once you got out through Ruidoso, up until about 20 miles outside of Roswell. That was just 2-lane highway. It was, and there was every summer people were dying on that.
Oh, yeah. What a nightmare.
And this was probably 90, 99.
Right.
Around that time.
That's a nightmare to have to try to drive through that.
Oh, yeah. Well, every year. They finally fixed it. Now it's delightful.
Pleasant, yes.
But for years there, that was a death trap. There, these people would come from Texas, going to Ruidoso, and they go barrel through the valley there and wrap their around to see a deer and crack into another car or the mountain or something else. Now there's a lot less of that going on. Safety and stuff, and they fix the road right. But anyway, so I know every crevice, inch of that. I've done that in my even 20 some years later. I'm like, oh, there's the. But I got reminded yesterday when I was coming back, and just when you're about to enter Mescalero, you've gone through Tularosa, you're about to enter into the mountains there. And as you're driving, you're not quite in Mescalero yet, but you're getting up on it. And as you're coming, you're just seeing the mountains. You enter into the valley, and then to me, it's some of the prettiest driving in the state.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's only that direction, coming from Alamogordo, driving towards Ruidoso, right before you get into Mescalero, and then, of course, as you drive through Mescalero, that's a very pretty area too. Especially when the church is there. There's 2 churches in that area. They've got it's not Chimayo, but it's that same thing where they have the cross up on the mountain there.
Right.
And I think people make pilgrimages at Easter for that thing. It's a smaller version of the Chimayo thing, basically. But it's beautiful. And I forgot, pound for pound, that's my favorite view of anything we drive around here is that little spot right there. Because for a hot minute, I'm like, man, this place is so beautiful. It looks so majestic. And for a hot minute, you forget about your problems and everything else. And you're just like, wow, I don't know if you're religious or not religious. You're like, oh, there's a God and there's proof right there. You know, and
there's little spots like that kind of all over. Like, and it's close to where you're talking about, but just past the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like as you're heading towards like on the other side of Capitan.
Yes.
Like on the other side of it, that whole little area, with the A-frames and all that valley.
Oh yeah, that's all beautiful in there too.
So gorgeous.
But it's always
Love
like
that.
I get reminded when I go through, because to me it's like the gateway into that area, and to me it's like, because you're just sitting on this still relatively flat highway. You haven't gone up into the mountain yet, but you're about driving into it, and you just see the big mountains, and you see the valley there, and you start. I don't know. It's almost like here's the line between dirt and brown, and then here's this beautiful, majestic mountain.
Peel back the curtain. It's like that little area probably has like a meth problem, but go back to the curtain.
Well, I mean, that's just it. Yeah, Mescalero, you have people that that walk the highways there. That's why you got to slow down through those areas, because they walk the highways and things like that, and people get hit quite often down in that area. So, but it's pretty country. I can't. I got reminded yesterday driving, because I haven't done it in a while. And last time I did it was dark, so I didn't see it. It was El Paso. When I went to El Paso before, it was dark both ways, so I didn't. So I saw it in the daylight for a first time.
It's majestic in the daytime, terrifying at night. Terrifying.
There's just a whole lot of blackness.
It's just black.
But that's when you find the idiots. I had there was one idiot from Texas that just insisted on riding in the left-hand lane and going through Mescalero there, and he about caused 3 accidents because of why he chose to. But that's another story for another time. But anyway, it was really pretty. It was just when you drive. If you ever never driven that drive it. Go check it out. It's beautiful to get some time up there. It's one of my most scenic areas, I think, in this part of the state, in my opinion. Crystal Noble will be joining us in just a few minutes here from the Humane Society. Give us an update on pets that are looking for homes right now, as well as what's going on over at the thrift store and things like that too. And then, of course, supporting by becoming a member. Always a good decision. What was the 90s commercial? Always a good choice. I can't remember the slogan. It was for something.
That's helpful.
It was. Yeah, it's a little obscure.
No, it was always a good decision.
Yeah, it was something. I don't even remember the product or anything, but the guy was kind of hoity-toity, if I remember right.
Was it Meow Mix or Fancy Feast?
Maybe, but I feel like it was something different, like coffee or something, or some kind of mustard. I don't know. Yeah. You have what, Roy?
I have baseball news.
Okay.
If you're into that.
No, but go ahead.
I don't know if you're a baseball guy, right?
No. I mean, no, I'm not a fan.
He's a Savannah Bananas guy.
I do like that, but yeah, I'm. If it's not a hockey game or a football game, I don't really want to sit through it.
Okay, I was just scrolling through Twitter and I saw that the San Francisco Giants are now apparently selling merch of one of the most hated nicknames of San Francisco, which is San Fran.
Really?
I can think of a few more nicknames that people in San Fran don't like.
So it just says San Fran on it, and they're getting salty?
Yeah, apparently not only do they hate it, but they find it offensive.
Really?
And they're just looking for things to be offended by now.
Yeah. And
how is that offensive?
There's also there's also a poll where which one do you hate more, San Fran or Frisco? And Frisco is probably more hated, but I just thought that was funny. And interesting.
San Fran's got a whole lot of problems, and what they call it is not one of them. Just saying. There's bigger fish to fry in San Francisco than people calling it Frisco or San Fran.
I don't think it was Sam Adams beer, but this says Sam Adams beer. Always a good decision.
Maybe it was Sam Adams. That does sound right. Always a good decision. Think that's it.
There you go.
Now I picture the guy in the tricorder hat. I think that's what was in my head. That was it. That was
I
it.
prefer Sam Jackson beer, personally.
Good Choice. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9. Here is your weather.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got dry air in place over eastern New Mexico, so our rain chances look pretty low for the next couple of days, although we can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm today. Otherwise, pretty nice, mostly sunny, and our afternoon high in the upper 80s. A few clouds in upper 60s overnight, and then it looks like upper 80s with plenty of sunshine for Friday, maybe a few showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me get to my weather. Currently 75 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62% with winds out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Not much talk of rain for the next couple days, not till the weekend anyway. For today, mostly sunny, 88 for a high, northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 67 and southeast winds 5 to 10. Friday, sunny, highs of 89 expected with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy Friday night with an overnight low of 69 degrees, winds out of the south 5 to 10. And then weekend, rain chances back in the forecast, 30% on Saturday for the afternoon. Mostly sunny, 91 otherwise with south winds 5 to 10. 30% Saturday night, mainly before 7. Partly cloudy otherwise, overnight low of 68. Sunday, 20% chance, at more showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 1. Sunny otherwise with a high of 93. 20% chance of rain for Sunday night as well, mostly clear, high of 69. And then a 30% on Monday, mostly sunny, 93, and then rain chances. Tuesday night and Wednesday, we're looking at a 40% chance. So maybe some good rain chances midweek next week. But no talk of rain till Saturday for us. All right, it is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll have Crystal join us from the Humane Society on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Roswell Ford presents the second annual Hometown Heroes Car Show and commemoration of 9/11, Saturday, September 10th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Wool Bowl in Roswell, with lots of different categories to choose from, including classic and muscle cars, lowriders and hot rods, best paint job, and so much more. Trophies awarded to first place in each category, with a $1,000 cash prize for best overall, and lots of great prizes, including a smart TV, an LGS gift card, furniture, car washes, and more. Enjoy jolly jumps, snow cones, music, and food. Best of all, it's free to spectate and only $25 to register your vehicle, with a portion of the proceeds to benefit the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. Register and get more info at roswellford.com. Sponsored by La Salsa, Decor of Carlsbad, LGS Guns and Ammo, Chaves County Heroes, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, Suds Up, One Party Rentals, Hero 106.1 FM, CRM Discount Awards, National Furniture Liquidators, Keep Chaves County Beautiful, and Let's Play Entertainment. The second annual Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September 10th at the Wool Bowl in Roswell. Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all of Nook's favorites from 11 to 7 Monday through Saturday, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town, all made fresh. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
All About Spas and Leisure Living is looking for a full-time sales associate for their showroom at 3700 North Main Street in Roswell. Do you enjoy working with people? Are you energetic, motivated, and driven? Apply in person. Come to the All About Spa showroom across from Discount Tire in Roswell and fill out an application. Base pay guarantee plus commissions. Prior sales experience is helpful but not necessary. We are offering mentoring, training, and will invest in your success. Apply in person and come be a part of the team. All About Spas is an equal opportunity employer.
Buying a sewing machine from a big box store or online might seem like a bargain, but in this case, you really do get what you pay for. Just the machine. No lessons, no help with figuring out why it isn't working the way you expect, and no one close to fix it. Buying locally from an authorized retailer may cost a little more, but in the end, it will save you time, money, and aggravation. Come see me, Chris Ann, at So Easy Sewing, 200 East College Boulevard in Roswell, and let me show you why it pays to shop local. So Easy Sewing. You've never had it so easy.
The Bulls are coming to Roswell, and the savings are coming to Roswell Nissan. We have a selection of over 25 brand new vehicles on the lot, so you can ride away today in an all-new 2022 Frontier, Pathfinder, or Rogue. And the pre-owned lot is stocked with herds of practically new vehicles in stock, with many 20s and 21s in stock. And we have over 100 vehicles on the lot. When no one has vehicles, Nissan does. Get ready for bull riding action and head for Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
The Valley Cafe introduces weekly lunch specials. Whether you like burgers, soups, salads, or sandwiches, the Valley Cafe will satisfy your lunch cravings. This week for lunch, try the Jamwich. Thinly sliced ham, bacon, grilled onions, grilled jalapenos, and Swiss cheese. Served on a bolillo bun with jalapeno pineapple jam. Grab and go lunch now at the Valley Cafe, the orange building across from Church on the Move, 801 Brasher in Roswell.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in the studio this morning from the Roswell Humane Society, Crystal Noble back with us. She was just telling me, is everything okay back at the Casa de U now? Because she was talking about the flooding she got last time while I was out of town.
I'm going to tell you right now, since the Pecos is overflowing, I look out my front door and it looks like lake. Like the BLM land that's directly behind where we're at, where they had that big old fire, is completely underwater.
Okay.
It looks like
the burn
a lake.
scar area? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you just look all down and it's just water.
Well, you got some lakefront property for a little bit. Anyway.
Yeah. So now all the rattlesnakes are just.
Mosquitoes, all that's going to be.
Mosquitoes, rattlesnakes, all the bugs are just coming up this way. But
well, if you see dragonflies, leave them alone. Because they eat the mosquitoes.
There's a ton of dragonflies. And I was like, hi.
Yeah, they're your friends.
Welcome to my casa.
Yes, come and they'll eat the skeeters and all
and
that.
So will bats.
Yes, so bring them on.
Yes. But yeah, and like we got probably 4.5 inches of rain that day that I missed radio.
Okay.
Like I could not open my door. The rain was so hard. I could not, and it was coming from the east. I couldn't open the door and get out.
Wow. Man.
And I was like, I'm not going nowhere today. But
well, I'm glad everything's okay now.
Yeah, it's fine as long as, it dries. Like when it rains, it like pools because there's like low spots and high spots. So it pools and then it's cleachy out there. So it's like quicksand.
Yeah. And it may be kind of set up that way where they want the water to pool where people aren't.
Well, there's a lot of areas out there that used to have natural springs, which obviously we're in a drought, so there's no natural springs.
Sure.
But you can see
just fill those pockets where they were.
Yeah, you can see the big areas where like they've already refilled first. And I was like, wow, it's kind of neat.
It is cool. But it's cool when it's not impacting your day-to-day life.
Yeah, when I need an arc to get out of my house.
Right. It's not so cool, but
this is the time where I go buy like jet skis or a motorboat or something.
That's right. You got a lake right there. Might as well enjoy it while you got it.
Yep.
See if you can stock it with some fish.
I think the Pecos is somebody got stuck trying to fish off of the overflow on the Pecos last night. So.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Yeah. No. It's funny because, you would think common sense would tell you don't do this. But then you have the people that are like, it won't happen to me.
Sure. Yeah, everyone, it's always the other person until you're the one they're pulling out of the water or getting stuck somewhere. It's one of those things. thank goodness our rescue and first responders, they're ready and able for when those people say, it's not going to be me. And then
they're
it's them.
very well trained in this matter.
Yeah. So, of course, for folks that aren't familiar, the Roswell Humane Society is home to many animals here. Yes. It's a no-kill, adoptable. You know, their whole goal is to collect animals and find good homes for them. That's what they do. When animal control is full, because they're right next door, and there's empty cages at the Humane Society, they're going and rescuing the ones that are on the short list for euthanization out there. So it's a rescue shelter that goes and helps find homes for pets for folks, not just here in Roswell, but all over the Southeast, really, not just even New Mexico, because they've sent animals to Colorado and other places as well, too. So
there are a lot of places, unfortunately, that are getting very filled with animals from New Mexico.
Yeah.
Our area in specific.
Yeah, we're turning into a cash crop for stray animals, it seems like.
Colorado, I think we've completely overfilled Colorado with dogs.
Saturated them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Arizona, you're coming now.
You're right. Just remember, no long-haired dogs in Arizona. It's too hot.
Yeah. They probably want the short-haired, cooler, animals there. Although Texas probably the same way. So maybe Utah, farther north.
Yeah.
But anyway,
what can help with this problem is spaying and neutering your animals.
That is key. That's been our big problem. I know. Obviously, the city of Roswell's done some things to, with the ordinances about chipping and spaying and neuter, obviously. But that's the big thing. The onus is now on the pet owners, people that, if you adopt a pet from the Humane Society or Animal Control, that pet will be spayed or neutered before it calls your home.
Yes.
That's how it will be. Obviously the Humane Society, they want to make sure so they if you do want a dog, they're going to make sure you have a fenced-in yard, a place suitable for the dog. If there's other dogs in the household, there's going to be a meet and greet to make sure everyone gets along before that comes to your home.
Meet and greet with kids and everybody in the house.
Yeah, and cats, they have to be indoor cats, which means spay and neuter, but we don't want cats that go outside, and because cats they
don't live as long when they're outdoors.
Yeah, they when they rely on just life, they're skinnier, they're less healthy. They generally, you have a cat for 20 years in the house, you get what, a third of that with an outdoor cat, basically?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe a third of that. It depends on how good it is.
So many more illnesses and viruses as the indoor pet.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's true. That's what it is. So if you do adopt a cat, we want to make sure it's a house cat that stays indoors and treat it with love and do all that stuff. And it will be spayed or neutered before it comes home too. So just so you know that. But that being said, that's what they do is they provide. So if you love and want to help out animals, being a part of the Humane Society, either by coming and shopping or certainly adopting, but becoming a member too, all those ways you're supporting to help animals find homes here in Roswell and Chaves County. So.
We have, and also a way would be shopping at the thrift store.
Yes.
One of the things that the thrift store does is it helps us be able to provide care for these animals. So anytime you donate to the thrift store, all the monies that are earned from the sales go towards the maintenance and care of the shelter. And obviously the thrift store, because we have to upkeep the thrift store as well.
Sure, yeah. But even helps out, with vet bills.
It does, vet bills, light bills, because we don't get our utilities donated.
Yeah.
That we do have to pay for.
And then obviously, when donations are down for litter and treats and things like that, then it goes to offset some of that too.
Right.
But that's another way you can, if shopping and all that, but donate as well. If you want to donate cat litter, by all means, please. But don't get the fancy kind. Just get the garbage
cheap,
stuff.
The cheap, because we throw it away every single day. We change it a couple times a day. We have disposable boxes, so that way we don't have to worry so much about the sanitizing in that aspect for the litter boxes.
It's for health and safety reasons they do it that way.
Cheap, just the cheap. You can even go to the Dollar Tree and get the little 10-pound bags of cat litter. Those things work great.
Yeah, they're perfect.
it's more cost effective to use the clay cat litter than it is the scoopable.
Sure. And let's face it, anytime you reuse things like that, you're opening up to spreading diseases and things amongst the cats and things like that. Or we don't want that. So for sanitation reasons, they do disposal every time. So, but that being said, don't buy the fancy clumping litters and all that. Just the basic, cheapest El Cheapo litter you find there. Grab the bags of that and donate that if you'd like. Or obviously foods and stuff. We can use all that, from puppies to adults, kittens to adults. Dry food.
Dry foods. A lot of people don't realize when we do ask for food donations, we ask for like specific kinds for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
The reason for that is when you're in a shelter, the main thing that you look at in an animal to tell if there's something wrong with it is their fecal. So if you're feeding that animal food with different colored dyes in it, it's going to discolor their fecal.
Makes sense.
And then when you're trying to determine if this animal is sick and if it has blood in its stool, but you're feeding it red dye, it makes it a little harder to determine if that animal is truly sick or not.
Gotcha.
And a lot of animals actually have an issue with red dyes. They don't digest it right, and it causes intestinal issues.
Okay. So it's probably not a good idea for your own personal pets and things either, those foods with red dyes in it.
My cats were actually highly allergic to red dye, and that's in almost every single cat food.
Oh, wow.
So if you don't find like one of the all-natural cat foods, you're going to have red dyes in it.
Okay.
And it's weird because you look at all the cat food and it's, colored.
Yeah.
Same as dogs. And the main reason that they put colors in it is so it looks appealing to the owners, not the
not the dog. They don't care.
It's the owners.
Yeah.
But we do ask for specific foods just because we want to make sure that when we're feeding them the foods, we're not continuously changing their diets, which can cause, diarrhea and upset stomachs. So we try to keep them on the same thing so that way they're able to not have continuous change in digestive
Makes
issues.
Sense.
And then if they do truly have a medical issue, we're able to determine it right away before trying to roll out, okay, is this just dye from the food?
Mm-hmm.
And we do understand that some of the foods are a little bit more expensive. We do feed the Sam's Club Members Mark food. It's the chicken and rice or chicken and something.
Okay.
And it's, inexpensive for a 40-pound bag. So if that's something you want to do to help out, you can pick up one of those bags. Pedigree. If you look for the chicken formula of the pedigree, it doesn't have red dyes.
Okay.
The beef does.
Okay.
And that's something new. They didn't always used to do that, and now they've recently started doing that. So, and it's a really red dye.
Okay.
So we try to stay away from anything that has the red dyes.
Gotcha.
But obviously, anything that is donated is greatly appreciated, and it goes towards helping the animals.
Sure.
We just try to eliminate as much other cause of medical as possible before.
I'm guessing once you've determined that dog is healthy and stuff, and if you do have food that has red dye in it, and you're like, oh, we can feed that because we know what's going on there now. We can give, but the new animals definitely don't get that stuff. So.
No, and like I said, we try to keep them on the same food so that way it's not a continuous change.
Sure. Well, and that's always anytime you have a pet, I know enough to know if dogs or cats, it doesn't matter. Consistency is the key with that food, and when you do change brands or change something, sometimes there's an adjustment period. The animal doesn't like it, or it doesn't process it the same. That's why they
have to gradually mix it.
And that's why they don't. It's not a good idea to buying different food every single time you go out there. You kind of want to keep it consistent. So.
And that's what we try to do. Unfortunately, we do feed our animals donations. So there's not always the time where we're able to keep it on the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But if you are wanting to help and you would like to pick up something to help, those are the reasons why we do ask for specific foods, is so that way it helps us keep them on one line.
Sure. Keep their health consistent.
Yeah.
So if that sounds way confusing, like I want to help out, but that sounds like cleaning supplies are always equally needed. If you got Pine Sol, bleach, mops,
bags,
brooms, trash bags, that stuff is constantly in need and use, and so you're helping immensely by donating bottles of bleach or bottles of Pine Sol or mops or brooms and things like that. So because it all gets used and destroyed till it's no serviceable anymore.
Now I will. This is something new as well. We do have new business hours.
Okay.
We are still open Tuesday through Saturday, but instead of opening at 9 a.m., we now open at 10 a.m.
Okay.
So we're open 10 to 12. We go to lunch, and then we come back 1 to 4:30.
Okay.
And this is just trying to help us get a little bit more of the cleaning done in the morning before the public starts going through.
Sure.
So it's not so much of a slip hazard.
Gotcha.
Because we don't want
It's time for it to dry out and everything.
Yeah, it gives us time to get the 80% of the cleaning done with the heavy watering, so that way we can get the chemicals off the floor where the customers walk, so that way they're not falling.
Makes sense. Yeah. So for the sake of that, sleep in the hour and then come on by here.
Yeah.
But and I do want to remind folks too that like I said earlier, animal control, the animal shelter is right next door.
They're directly behind us.
To
A
the
lot of
Humane
people
Society.
don't realize that we're two separate shelters because we're that close.
Yeah.
So we're the building that's in the front where the thrift store is. We're right behind the thrift store, attached to the same building. And then directly behind us is the secondary building, and that is animal control.
Yeah.
We look connected, but we're not connected.
They're two different
so
buildings.
When you walk in our door, you're not cruising through their shelter somehow magically.
Yeah.
You do have to go through their front doors to get into their shelter.
Which, if for whatever reason no animal speaks to you at one, please visit the other.
Yes,
because you're
check
rescuing either way. You don't feel bad. You're like, well, I got from here and said here. Either one of those places, if you adopt a pet from it, you are rescuing that pet. You're giving it a home. It's a good thing. We all love you doing that. Doesn't matter if it's from the shelter or from the Humane Society. Either way, you're helping pets here. So by all means, if there's not a cat or a dog that just doesn't connect with you in one facility, walk right next door to the other and keep looking. And I'm pretty sure, because they both are pretty full almost all the time. By the time you get there, you between the two, you should find something that speaks to you or comes out, or something you just connect with,
And we're always getting new animals. So that's
Check
one
back
thing
often.
that, if you're looking for something specific size, ask us. Because we do have a waiting list of animals to enter our shelter as well that are needing to be owner released. So if we can get you in touch with, somebody on the waiting list and try to help an animal get a home prior to entering a shelter, that's always the best
That's
as well.
a win-win for two, yeah.
It is.
Because let's face it, these shelters, and it doesn't matter which shelter it is, they're not the most ideal places for pets. It's a loud, there's a lot of other animals. It's a very stressful environment for animals because they're always barking and, they're in cages. They don't get to run free. So you're not seeing the animals at their best. You're kind of seeing them in bad moods. Kind of like if you were in jail or something like that, sitting around waiting in a little cell, your attitude's going to be a little bit sour too.
Right.
And so remember that when you go out there. That's why they take you to the greeting rooms and have little one-on-one time, so you kind of get a chance to see these pets in a more normal or a more natural environment than what you're seeing them in now.
A little less stressful.
Yeah.
And one thing, we do tell everybody that anytime you want to visit with an animal, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll bring them up to the front area. If there's, still a little bit unnerved, depending on how the weather is, we'll harness them up and we'll go out to the park. Park
Just
is
so you
right
can
behind
get
us.
see what kind of personality these pets have. But please do that, and just remember that when you go, you're rescuing these pets. You're providing a home and a life for them that's much better. And don't get me wrong, I know the staff and everybody, they love these pets to death too, and would probably take everyone home if they could get away with it, but don't, because they're adults and have to live their lives. But
and we know what how much it costs to take care of them.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
Your heart is bigger than your wallet sometimes, and you can't you can't do that. So it's always loving people, but it's just not an ideal situation for a bunch of pets. It's a bunch of animals that we have to keep contained until we can find real homes for them. And so this is the safest way that we can, even though it's not the most comfortable or most enjoyable conditions for a pet per se, it is the best way to find homes for these. So please remember that when you go there and you see the pets in the cages and they're a little nervous or they're kind of barky or just not wanting anything to do with you, it's just they're probably not in the best moods right now. And then some are the opposite. They're like, ooh, a person. Come, let me show you everything I got. And then they're ready to, it's just the personality of the pet, just like people. The same way some won't shut up. Others you can't get them to talk to save your life. It's no different with animals,
Some dogs you have to woo, and some dogs you don't.
Yeah, and it's no different. So just remember that kind of stuff when you're. And the other thing I want to say is, if you're not fully committed to adopting a pet, then don't. Don't use this as to just for a companion for a friend. Don't. There's so many excuses. I want to teach the kids responsibility. Wonderful. Those are great ideas. But remember, the kid's going to screw that up. The kid's not going to feed it. The kid's going to forget to let it out. The kid's going to do those things. And guess who's responsible? Because that pet still needs to be fed. That pet still needs to go out. That pet still has needs. Guess who's going to do it? You are. And if you're not going to be willing to do that, then you don't adopt this pet. Just leave the pet at the shelter. Let's save it for a family that's willing to do those kinds of things. If your idea is for protection and then you're just going to chain it up and leave it in the backyard, then I say, you know what? Don't come adopt a pet from these people. Because that's not the life that these pets deserve. And if you're not willing to give them that, then buy a stuffed animal, buy a robot pet or whatever the heck they got out there now. I don't care, but
a Digimon.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you need to look into before getting an animal.
Yeah.
The finances that come behind it, the responsibilities that come with it, and the commitment. And if those things are things you don't have or can do, then look at another option.
Mm-hmm.
We know your heart might be there, but unfortunately your means might not be.
Absolutely. And being a pet owner is expensive.
The
vet bills, the food bills. Obviously, bigger dogs and bigger animals are going to eat more. That's going to cost more than, say, a Chihuahua or a little kitten. But vet bills are very, especially those initial, you're getting the blood work, making sure everything's good to go, that's happy, healthy, spaying, neutering, there's cost to all that. And then, of course, if there's medical conditions, serious ones, they get cancer, they get same things that humans get, and those happen from time to time. And if you're not willing to invest the time and money in that, then maybe you should look elsewhere. So,
and one thing that people don't understand, an animal that's in a shelter appreciates a home in a different way than buying one from a breeder.
I understand. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So when you go to a shelter and you're looking at the animals, they're going to appreciate your home and value the home that you give them a lot different than a dog you've purchased from a breeder. Because as they say, it's kind of like adopting a child from a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
They know the hardships as to where, natural children and breeding don't.
Yeah.
And so as my husband is, listening to radio, he says...
it's a very good point because it's you're right. And this is why I always say that, like mutts and things I think are smarter dogs. It's the same thing.
They're healthier.
Well, they're healthier, but I mean, because they weren't treated in a certain way, they were just kind of, you know what I mean? That they appreciate when the love comes in, when they got, nice things, they do tend to be more socially conscious of that in their own unique way, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The dogs will, and that's just it. Once the animal gets your routine down, they're going to follow you through a wall. That's just, I've even got cats that do it, and cats don't do that. But I literally have Hannah that follows me everywhere I go, that flops down and rubs down every time I walk into the house. She does dog things and that's because that bond you build with it's all because of that. And that's the only reason. So if you do that, the rest will work itself out. You'll find that being a pet owner is very easy when you put love into the equation. Sure, it's still going to be expensive. But you got a pet that's going to, because the pet knows that you love it. And once that connection's made, you've literally got a friend that will die for you. That's kind of what it's like being a pet owner.
Your pets love you more than your spouses do.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And it's a great thing to create but you got to commit. You got to put in the time. You got to put in that effort. It's no different than raising a child. And you got to if you want a child to be good.
Your child, you have to teach your pet.
Yeah.
You have to train them and do certain things so that way they know and understand.
Yep. It's true. It really, and it does make a difference. So if you're not really willing to do all that, then maybe get fish or do something that's not get a hamster, something that you're not looking for. Yeah, something that requires less of your attention. And that way you have something that you can go, ooh, look at the pretty fish, and then you sit back down and watch your program or go by. Just remember to put food and clean that thing every once in a while.
Yeah, they do require things too.
Yeah, but it's not as needy as a dog or a cat would be. So
before we go, I will tell you we will be at Ace Hardware this Saturday from 10 to 2. It's National Doggy Ice Cream Day.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
there are going to be some ice cream treats for dogs?
There will be doggy ice cream and their own special doggy ice cream bowls.
Which is going to taste like garbage to you, so don't even try eating it. Your ice cream for you is going to be way better. I mean, you can, but it's not going to taste like your favorite ice cream.
It's not our type of ice cream.
Yeah.
It's a formulated doggy version of ice cream.
Dog food's very bland because you know they can't have the rich spices and things that we have in our diet. It's not good for their digestive system. So,
and then there's also the cutest Chihuahua contest this Saturday at the Civic Center.
Okay.
I will be judging the cutest Chihuahua, so I need to see the Chihuahuas in this town. Come on, people.
Now, by cute, because there's ugly cute. Does ugly cute qualify in the cute? Because there's like certain dogs
ugly, cute.
Like eyes are just a little bubbly this way, but in some weird way it's still cute, even though it looks like a hot mess.
It looks like a gremlin. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good deal. Just want because Chihuahuas in that area can do that. Like you get that one, the tongue, the ears just not right or whatever, just is not symmetrical. And
we're not looking for your papered purebred cuteness. We're looking for your everyday.
Yeah.
It's
a different kind of cuteness.
I just crawled out of bed, hair jacked up, cute. That's what we're looking for. The all natural.
All right. So that's again, remind the times and all that.
It's going to be this Saturday at the Civic Center. I do believe you have to pay a registration fee for the Chihuahua contest. There's something else going on at the Civic Center too. I can't remember. I just know I got asked to judge the dog contest.
Okay, there was an event initially there that I think they got moved. A concert of some kind, but
no. This is something to do with Mexican heritage.
Yeah, I think that's the event. It was Mickey Cruz concert and all that. I think that got moved.
Okay.
Due to some other stuff.
Well, then I will double check and make sure that I'm still supposed to be there judging a Chihuahua contest.
Okay, because because they were supposed to be on yesterday and that got moved, from my understanding. Talk with Sean.
Okay.
I think he has more details.
I'll go talk with
Sean. If it's
Sean.
the same event, which I think it might be, you might be off the hook. So just come out to Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware 10 to 2.
10 to 2 on Saturday. Come out and have some. Have your dog have some ice cream, not you. I mean, I guess you can eat if you want to, but you're not gonna like it. I guarantee you're not gonna like it.
So I have a request for specific donations.
Okay.
Tools. Anything built by Tonka.
Okay.
Hoses. Anything that you can build with. So if you have any type of tools that you're no longer using and you want to donate.
By Tonka?
I think my husband is wanting kid toys.
I was about to say, because I hear Tonka, and I was like, they make like Jeeps and trucks and stuff.
Yeah, I think my husband wants kid toys.
Ah, okay.
He likes to play with those things.
I don't
Go down
blame him.
the toy aisle in Walmart and he sets everything off. Wee, 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 all the way down.
One of my favorite toys as a kid was this Jeep Wrangler made by Tonka. And it was it was huge to me. It was probably tiny, but to me it was like feet tall. And everybody, I think it was probably about this big. And but you could it had the little wing nuts where you could take the wheels off and change the tires and do all this cool stuff. I think the hood opened up and I can't remember. I think it just had a top that was off. I don't think it came with a top. But if it did, I lost it early. But anyway, I had that thing for years. And by the time we got rid of it, it was just a chassis. The wheels were all lost and gone. And it was just but yeah, my Tonka Jeep, I had that thing for probably half dozen years at least, which was an attorney in it when you were a little kid.
Right. But they built toys a lot better back then.
This is true. Tonka has always been known as tough, Tonka tough, like Fisher Price, Tonka. These are the ones you could throw them off buildings and they'd still work kind of thing.
Run over drag them behind a vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
They don't make toys like they used to, though.
So reach out to the main side if you got some Tonka tools.
Yes, because apparently I have a child at home that's wanting more toys.
Well, he could use a Tonka boat right now for the lake.
Yes, he could. If somebody brings me a Tonka boat, I will definitely go over and pay for it at the thrift store.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, come on by, shop the thrift store. Yes. Don't forget Wednesday's the new stuff day. That's when because they're closed on Tuesdays there to restock and replenish. And then Wednesday, it's all debuted there. And so come on and shop. And like I said, if you're looking, especially with, now we're kind of back to schools, all that stuff. But if you're looking to get new microwaves and small appliances,
oh man, they
stuff
have
for
a
the
lot
kids, college, they got a ton of that kind of stuff. It's all brand new or practically new in about a tenth of the cost of what it was brand new. And all that money goes back to the Humane Society. So
they've even got some flat screen TVs that do work. They have been tested.
It's a great way. You get something extremely cheap, and they get that money that helps these pets. So it's a win-win for everybody. You get a product that you wanted, needed at a very cheap price. The Humane Society gets that money to help animals. So come shop, come do it, come spend, you drop $100 in there, you walk out like a millionaire. You really could.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Awesome. Did we get it all?
I think we did.
And then, RoswellHumane.org is the website. You can see every single pet that the shelter's calling home right now. Don't forget, if you see not available there by the pet, that means it's in quarantine. Either it's new to the shelter, is not heavy enough to be adopted. It's a young kitten or pup that's not made weight yet, or is new to the shelter, being vaccinated, or getting whatever making sure it doesn't have parvo or any of the things that are communicable diseases in these places like that, kennel cough, stuff like that. But once all that's good, then so if you see one of those pets that say not available and you're like, oh, it's so cute, I want it, check on it. It's not. It's if it's adopted, it's not up there. Right. So if it's up there, it's looking for a home, maybe just not quite yet. That's the only difference. So, good deal. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
As always, and we'll see you next time. And
yes, sir.
Get on out to Ace Hardware this week and this Saturday, and have some fun with the dogs and
some puppy ice cream.
Some ice cream. Yeah.
Feed your dog the ice cream, not you eat it.
You can. It's just
not going to taste good.
You're going to be like, this sucks. I wouldn't sell this to, I wouldn't eat this mess, but it's not for you.
That's why they make dog food that tastes bad, so that way we don't try to eat the dog's dog food.
Yeah, otherwise we eat the dogs out of house and home. So,
yep.
Like, now you can have that. You keep your Alpo. I'll stick to my Hot Pockets. It is 9:55. Quick news and break before we go. Don't go away.
With your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The city of Roswell, one of 6 communities in the western United States, recently awarded federal grant funding to develop drought contingency plans aimed at taking a proactive approach to build long-term resiliency to drought. Roswell's project will plan for and prepare for drought through monitoring and prioritization of mitigation and response actions to protect water resources during times of drought. The city secured the $200,000 award through a highly competitive evaluation process. The New Mexico Department of Transportation now reopening access to downtown Carlsbad using US 62-180. Traffic was previously rerouted through New Mexico 200, the George Shoup relief route. Commercial motor vehicles must still follow the detour on New Mexico 200 because of the 8.5-foot width restrictions on the Green Street Bridge. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
In Psalm 122, David states, I rejoiced with those who said to me, let's go to the house of the Lord. There is and should be joy in worshiping our Lord together. Personal, individual time worshiping God is essential, but there's something special about worship surrounded by others who love the Lord and want to praise His name. There is such power and encouragement in worshiping with fellow Christians that just can't be found in singular worship. Have you had a great week? Come to worship to praise and thank the Lord and encourage others around you by sharing how you've been blessed. Have you had a rough week? Come to worship to refresh your heart and soul and be encouraged by those around you who are worshiping the Lord. Phil Wickham, in his song House of the Lord, proclaims this, there's joy in the house of the Lord today, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. What a great song. Come and worship with us as we find encouragement to encourage those around us. Let's praise our Lord together.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
This lot is sizzling hot. The Great Honda Sell-Off is on now at Roswell Honda with repos, surplus vehicles, rentals, and more, and they've all got to go. Get a 2013 Civic for just $299 a month, 2015 Chevy Sonic for just $229 a month, or a 2011 Hyundai Elantra for just $159 a month. Get AirPods and a free 12-pack just for stopping by, a grilling kit with a test drive, and a portable grill with purchase. And register to win a 3-burner gas grill to be given away August 27th at 1 p.m. The Great Honda Sell-Off on now at Roswell Honda, 2111 West 2nd.
Pressure Services LLC in Artesia has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL or Class D CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and be at least 25 years of age. All positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screen. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contributions toward health benefits. Please apply in person at 402 West Main in Artesia, inside the Age Safety Facility. Equal Opportunity Employer.
The season is underway for your Goddard Rockets, and this Friday night, your Rockets return to the Wool Bowl for their first home game of the season against the Cavemen of Carlsbad. Fiero 106.1 FM and KSVPTV.com will have every second of the action. Join Chris Deck and Chris Roybal for the pregame show beginning at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Rockets versus the Cavemen of Carlsbad. Friday night beginning at 6:45 on Fiero 106.1 FM and online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he was from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 10 o'clock. That's about going to do it for us. If you missed any part of the show, of course, we had the folks from Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge join us last hour talking about Dragonfly Festival coming up. That's September 9th, 10th, and 11th. The 10th, the real day of all that. And then, of course, just this past hour, we had Crystal Noble join us from the Humane Society and talk about pets available for adoption. They're going to be out at I think it's Westlake Harbor here on Saturday, giving away free dog ice cream for 2 hours out there. So great stuff there. We got to go. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. Greatly appreciate that. We'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow.